Winds in the east, mist coming in, like something is brewing, about to begin. Can't put my finger on what lies in store, but I feel what's to happen has happened before. Plasma apocalypse is the cyclical cataclysm that changes all life on Earth. The plasma apocalypse has been known by every culture. It's been recorded in every religion. It's been described from various perspectives and has gone by many names. Armageddon, the end of days, the rapture, the end times, Judgment Day, the apocalypse. The event has always been seen as being both a destructive and life-giving process. When it brings death to one thing, it gives birth to another. It's a marker for both the end and the beginning of recorded time. Many of our ancient ancestors knew about the cyclical world reset. They would prepare and plan for their survival and the preservation of their families, retreating to deep underground caverns when they saw the signs and omens of destruction. Because the exact date of the event was never known, they made annual preparations which would become traditions that would be carried out by their descendants, who would eventually forget about the cataclysm to come. We are those descendants. This generation has no memory of the creation event, the reoccurring genesis of our world. It survives mostly in the collective subconscious of humanity, secretly escaping through creative mediums like books, movies, and music. Those who remember do so in part, as if trying to recall a powerful dream that slips away from the conscious mind. Those who try and return to the old ways are avoided, mocked, and humiliated, labeled doomsday preppers and preachers of doom and gloom, heretics to the divine and all-powerful church of humanity. But the ancients knew a secret. Those who survive the reset will inherit the new world as masters of themselves and their environments, true and complete freedom bequeathed unto them from a dying age. As I said in the beginning, it has been described from various perspectives. The following is an abbreviated account of the events of the plasma apocalypse as given by my own. The electromagnetic polarity of our world will begin to fluctuate before completely reversing, causing the first signs of what's to come. The sky itself will begin to moan like a woman about to give birth. The sun will disappear for a time, and the world will become very dark. During the neutral point of the polarity shift, the world will experience zero gravity. Everything that isn't attached to the Earth or in it will float. The invisible electromagnetic force field around our world will dissipate, and the physical barrier that keeps the Earth pressurized will break as a massive hole appears in the sky above the North Pole, revealing the plasma vortex that leads to other realms. Bloodlines who have kept the secret of the black hole in the sky and who have prepared over many lifetimes for this moment will enter their rockets and blast off, shooting themselves into the swirling vortex to finally make their escape from this world. Ignorant spectators will only assume their governments are fighting off a strange alien invasion. The hole in the sky will cause the world to depressurize, expanding the atmosphere into instant fog and mist, causing a temporary shortage of oxygen and rupturing eardrums and creating a spiraling wind that will grow into a world storm. The downdraft of that world storm will pull supercooled air from the upper atmosphere down around the Arctic Circle, instantly freezing all it touches into frozen statues of ice. Everything that was floating will be sucked up into the storm towards the opening above the North Pole. Bodies of water that are not sucked out through the opening in the sky will freeze into massive chunks of hail as large as boulders, waiting to fall back to the ground. And water that isn't frozen will be polluted by the dust and debris of the storm, giving it a blood-like color, waiting to rain back down onto this world. The Earth will grow in size, causing worldwide earthquakes that will turn much of the soil into mud through liquefaction. With the electromagnetic force field temporarily down, the plasma that spirals around our world will enter into our atmosphere, looking for attractive places to ground itself. The more powerful plasma streams will carve out canyons and tug at the salty, mud-covered ground, creating mountains in short time. Many centers of civilization will sink into the mud, while others will be petrified instantly. Otherworldly creatures and beings that I call phantazoids will enter into our world. The influx of plasma will possess some of the living, reanimate the dead, and bring life to electronics, all of which will submit to its objective: to seek out and remove those with the old frequency signature until the plasma is cut off from its source. Smaller strands of plasma will dock with the heads of the plasma possessed and reboot the brains of many survivors, wiping their memory of the past. The plasma streams in various forms will set fire to much of the world. Electromagnetic polarity will reverse, and a bluish-white beam of plasma will shoot up from the center of the Earth, up through the North Pole, into the opening in the sky for all to see, also known as Project Bluebeam. The direction of light will reverse, flowing upward, revealing the true nature of our cosmic surroundings. Light will not come from a focal point called the sun, but from the sky itself, and will be various shades of purple, red, orange, and green, depending on one's proximity to the North Pole. The electromagnetic force field will surround our world once again, repelling the rivers of plasma and cutting them off from their source. Our world will be inundated with plasma. A weak electromagnetic force will emerge, allowing leftover floating debris to fall back down to the ground. Meanwhile, objects that crossed the upper atmosphere force boundary will fall upward to their barrier above. Steampunk survivors will sift through the piles of junk that fall to the ground, scavengers of old world artifacts, looking for clues to their past and trying to reverse engineer or repurpose leftover technology. The world will be energized with life by the sudden influx of plasma, which will alchemically create an abundance of oxygen and other elements that will promote extended lifespans. The strong electromagnetic connection between all life forms will promote peace and enable psychic abilities amongst the survivors. Plants, animals, and people, and electronics will be able to communicate with one another. Because of this, the muscles of many survivors will seem strengthened as the weakened electromagnetic force, once called gravity, lessens the weight of everything. These conditions and less pressure on the surface will allow for gigantic growth of all life born into the new world. When those conditions begin to change, life will shrink in size over time once more. Survivors emerging from the earth will carve images of the apocalypse into the rock as a reminder to future generations who will eventually forget all about these events. Small groups will retain the knowledge. One group will guard the secrets of the eye in the sky, passing it along down their generations to empower their lineage. The other group will share their memories but will not be believed. Because they will be infiltrated by the other group, they will develop tests for outsiders to pass, to prove their intentions selfless, wise, and loving. One group will hide in plain sight, slowly manipulating the amnesia-induced world. The other will go unnoticed, becoming reclusive and waiting for the seekers of truth to find them. Pockets of lower frequency survivors will turn to cannibalism before the world's plant life begins to regrow. Phantazoids will fight for their survival, or hide from the natives of their strange new world, only to become mythic and legendary creatures, the fantastic beasts and monsters of old. Aloha everybody, I'm JayDreamerZ and welcome to Plasma Apocalypse Thursday, or Plasma Apocalypse Cycle, whatever. I wanted to call it Plasma Apocalypse Cycle from the beginning because it spells Pac, and then I could use Pac-Man, you know what I mean, but it's too late for all that. So anyways, Plasma Apocalypse Thursday, thank you so much. Sorry about the delay. I was actually reading the chat and I should have been pressing next on like my next scene or whatever, as well as at the end. I was watching the video and I was like, oh wow, this is good stuff. And then I was like, oh, I gotta press the button. So yes, that is the Plasma Apocalypse breadcrumb. I spent a few hours, many hours this morning making. I pretty much finished it like an hour ago. And so let's talk about some stuff. Let's talk about what's going on today. All right, hold on. Let me just 1 second here. Do you guys know the song I was singing in the chat? Does anybody know that song? It's actually related to what we're about to talk about. It's one of my favorite songs ever. And I don't even know all the lyrics. I need to remember them. All right, let's see here. So today we're talking about, let me get back to the deal here. Oh, mushroom, lamp, bags, bottle, and TARDIS. Yes, I know Mother Dragon is here for the TARDIS. People are always trying to steal the TARDIS. I'm just kidding. Anyway, not really. So anyhow, that's my riddle. I don't want to start off by telling you all something. I would like to start off today by asking you something and having you all tell me. So what do these things all have in common? I wrote this question down in the description. My question for you is, what do they all have in common? Mushroom, lamp, bags, bottle, TARDIS. I'm going to be keeping my eyes on the chat for some answers. Type in at JayDreamerZ, if you please, if you do have an idea about what all these crazy contraptions have in common. Let's see here. I would sing the song that I was singing in the chat, but then it would give it away. I think it would give it away. So, hey, yeah, that's the Plasma Apocalypse breadcrumbs. So I know a lot of people have questions and stuff, and I know I made my channel, members only and everything for the chat and for the comments and stuff like that. Of course, the public can watch my live streams as people are right now. But I'm probably going to put that breadcrumb up as a video that's available to the public. I might just remove all the comments. Because it's a short video, it gets right to the point. It gives you the general Cliff's Notes on everything that I've kind of discussed for, lots of things I discuss. Ooh, William Marquez, you're getting close. You're getting warm, man. Very warm. Very warm. The mushroom's not bigger on the inside, obviously, right? Well, I don't know. It kind of depends. You're pretty close. I'm going to say you're on fire right now. Here, let's give William Marquez some green fire. Boom. At William Marquez. There you go. You get some green fire for being so close. You're on fire, man. All right. So what do these things have in common? Mushroom, lamp, bags. Specifically, Mary Poppins' bag and Merlin's bag. Specifically, Merlin from the cartoon version of The Sword and the Stone. Okay? Not just any old run-of-the-mill Merlin. I'm talking about the good one. The one I like, actually. Dennis L says universe. Very vague, but also very specific at the same time. I like it. You're pretty close too, actually. So I like it. Good suggestion. Something about size in any case. Ooh. I'm waiting for Mother Dragon's answer. What does Mother Dragon have to say? How about, let's see here. Oh, hey, let me answer this question or respond to it. Semyaza, how does it look on my side? Does it look good? Oh, it does. I don't have that much light in here. I'm surprised that, see, you can see this side of me is kind of shaded. Actually, I can fix that real quick. One sec. Boom. I gotta be super careful because I'm kind of a klutz at times. Not all the time, but when I do this, I can be a klutz a bit because I get nervous sometimes. But yeah, sometimes I knock things off my desk. I have a lot of stuff up here. I like to collect trinkets from what I do. Souvenirs from places I go. How many people saw my video when I went to Arizona and I did that Arizona documentary that no one watched? Sad. I'm just kidding. I had a really good time doing that. Armored Skeptic is the newest member, it looks like. Who would have thunk? Welcome, Armored Skeptic. I like your stuff. You're a funny guy. Tiffany Taylor Lee is also one of our newest members. Welcome, Tiffany. Semyaza says, more inside than what you can see. Ooh, you guys are really close. Britt says portals. Welcome to Britt. Let's go fix Felix's magic bag of tricks. Oh, you know what? Good one. I forgot about Felix the cat. I super forgot about Felix the cat. So, yes, Felix the cat's bag is definitely included in this. Sean Wheeler says magic lamp. Magic lamp is definitely included in this. See, that's why I put lamp. That's also why I put bottle, because sometimes the genie is in a bottle. So that's why I put bottle. Let me give you guys a hint. Let's see. Was there something else I was going to do here? What's in it? Nothing, everything. All right, let me see. Let me read this. Okay, so this is the song from The Sword and the Stone, the Disney version, right? One of my favorite movies ever, right? I like those older Disney movies, like Disney's Robin Hood and The Sword and the Stone, you know? So here's the song. I don't know all the words, so I'm gonna try. It goes, Higatus Figatus Zumbakazing. I want your attention, everything. We're packing to leave. Come on, let's go. No, not you. Books are always first, you know. Hockety pockety wockety whack. Abracadab. Abra neck. Shrink in size, very small. We've got to save enough room for all. Higadis figadis migadis mum. Prestidigitorium. Alacafez balacazez. Malacamez meripedez. Hockety pockety wockety what? No, stop. See here, sugar ball. You're getting rough. That poor old tea set is cracked enough. All right. Let's start again. Where was I, boy? Hockety pockety? Oh, yes, that's right. Hockety pockety whack. Odds and ends a bric-a-brac. I'll be with you in just a minute, son. Packing's almost done. Okay, there's more to it, but I'm not going to sing the whole thing. Okay, so... Right, yeah, I know. Try that from memory, right? I'm totally reading it off the screen. I remember how it goes. You know, I remember, like, a clue that leads to another clue that leads to another clue. Ooh, responding in movie quotes. I like it. It's National Treasure. I love that. I like it when you guys do that. Okay, so here's the clue. I'll give you a clue, okay? Let's see here. The question is... What do all these things have in common? Mushroom, specifically Alice's mushroom or Alice's caterpillar's mushroom, right? The mushroom, one side makes you grow taller. The other side makes you grow smaller. The lamp, the genie lamp, and the genie bottle depends on probably what decade you're from, you know. If you grew up before the Disney's Aladdin came out, then you're probably used to the genie being in a bottle, right? Like I Dream of Genie, you know? Bump, 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 bump. All right, I'm just in a super good mood. All right, so I feel like I'm not tall enough. Maybe the camera's too zoomed in on me. I want to show off my new Stranger Things shirt because I like it. I don't get new stuff a lot. And I have a new shirt and I really like it. So I'm going to sit up nice and proud and tall. All right, so anyhow, I need to just put the microphone closer. That's why I'm slouched over like that. That's why I'm slouched over, because I'm like, can you hear me? That's what I'm doing. I sound like a stand-up comic today. I don't know why. Okay, Mother Dragon. Sorry, I was distracted. All right, check my answer above. 2 response. Okay. 1 sec. Mushrooms. Mother Dragon says mushrooms make me think Alice in Wonderland and Super Mario Brothers. Very good connection. Alice also consumed a special potion in a bottle that changed her size. Very good as well. Yes, you're all very close. Blast me to Bermuda. I love it. All right. So the lamp, right? Let me just tell you. I'll just tell you guys, okay? The mushroom, one side makes you grow taller, the other side makes you grow smaller. It has to do with affecting the size of an object, right? The genie lamp or the genie bottle, you know, the genie in a bottle. Or whatever, however that song goes. So the genie in the bottle, you put stuff in it, it changes its size, right? Obviously, you take stuff out, it changes its size, right? It conforms. Things conform to being inside of it. They change in size, right? Has to do with the shape. Also, the bags of... Who said Felix the cat? Who was that? I have to scroll up. Remind me. I'm sorry. Was that... Oh, that was Sean, I think. Yeah, Sean Wheeler. All right, so Sean Wheeler said Felix's magical bag of tricks. You're absolutely right. Felix's bag, Mary Poppins' bag, and I just forgot the last one. Somebody else's bag. I have to look at my own thumbnail to remember. Now I don't remember. Okay, so Mary Poppins. Oh, and Merlin. Duh. I was just singing the song, right? And Merlin's bag. Okay, so everything they put into that bag shrinks in size. It's not just a bottomless bag that just drops. It's got like a wormhole in it. I mean, it possibly could because of what I'm about to ask next, right? But yeah, you put stuff in it and it shrinks down in size. That's why they can fit so much stuff. When they pull things out of it, it grows in size. One side will make you smaller, one side will make you grow taller. And of course, Mother Dragon, your TARDIS, right? The TARDIS. The TARDIS is bigger on the inside. And I kind of gave you guys an idea as to what that is in reference to on a prior video. Do you remember? What my opinion of it was, basically, right? I need to move this screen so it doesn't look like I'm looking over at something else. Hold on one sec. There we go. Okay, cool. That looks way better. Now it looks like I'm looking forward. Okay, cool. Hermione Granger's bag. I don't remember as much of the Harry Potters. So Hermione's bag does that too? I'm going to write this down. Hold on. Let me take notes. I'm taking notes on you guys. All right, hold on. All right, Felix the Cat. Bag. That's Felix the Cat's bag and Hermione's. Hermione, is that how you spell it? Granger. I'm going to look those up when I'm done. Very good, though. Excellent. I'm so proud of you guys. Dimensional, says Sean Raymer. Cynthia, hi, Cynthia. Cynthia says, hello. I Dream of Jeannie. Yeah, I like the Will Smith version of I Dream of Jeannie. But, you know. Anyhow, so the whole point here is that it has to do with affecting the size of an object, specifically the size of an object that's placed into it, if it's a bag, right? Or the mushroom, right? These are all pretty much containers, except for the mushroom, right? What does the mushroom have to do with it? It's because of its shape. Let me bring up some pictures for everyone. Hey, was that a good breakdown? Did you think that was a pretty good one? I liked it. I spent all day doing it, so I'm proud of it. I'm usually pretty critical of myself. Where was I here? Do I have a picture of a mushroom? I'm not even sure. Let's do this. All right, let's keep that guy right there. Let's go to this one. Pal. There we go. All right. Whoa, what did I just do? See? You gotta take your time. Higadus Figadus. All right, cool. Let's just type in mushroom. I just need a simple picture of mushroom, not caterpillar. Don't you love it when it just adds in what it thinks you're going to say, and then you hit enter, and it's like, stop trying to read my mind, computer. All right, picture of mushroom, image. Let's look at a generic picture of a mushroom, right? Let's take, I don't know, this one's fine. Boom, that works. Well, nah, I don't really like that one. Let's pick one I like. I want to pick one I like. All right, let's see here. Let's get a good one. Oh, there we go. I like that one. Okay, let's see if I can open this in a new tab. Open a new tab. You know, doing YouTube has actually really helped me to, like, figure out how to use the computer. Like, the ins and outs of the computers and stuff. It's crazy. Sinbad. Hey, why'd you say Sinbad, London? Which Sinbad are you talking about? The older copy has a little lady. Oh, you lost me. You might be talking to someone else, though. I don't know. All right, so here's the mushroom, right? What does the mushroom have to do? All these other things are containers. The mushroom is obviously not a container. Unless it symbolizes something that is a container that resembles the mushroom. Like, let me bring up another picture. Hold on, one sec. I'm switching back and forth between these things. Thanks for your patience. Merci beaucoup. All right, screen share. Is it this one? Oh yeah, it's this one right here in the middle. Okay, cool. So I'm going to move this. I'm being very delicate with this because if I don't press the right sequence of buttons, it all messes up. All right, so we're going to do this. This is my tardigrade buddy. I have a little tardigrade. Jenny bought me a tardigrade like smell good thing for my car. Not because my car stinks, but because I like collecting those types of things. And I have a little tardigrade that goes with me everywhere I go. I love it. All right, let's see. Let me minimize that, and we're going to open this up. Somebody probably already guessed it. Let's see. I'm taking forever. All right, let's see here. We're going to open that up and go to a specific folder, which is going to be under my pictures. No. Let's not do that one. Well, we could. Yeah, we could do that one, I guess. Booyah. This will work, I guess. All right, let's do that. That's more rounding looking. Anyhow, you can kind of see the mushroom shape right there. See? Boom, and then it goes in. There's a stem, which I like talking about the stem, right? Mushroom shape. Oh, I gotta make this bigger, don't I? There we go. Whoa, I made that super huge. I didn't know it would get that big. Well, that's pretty cool. All right, let's go to my, hold on, I'm under flat earth. I need to go to the dome. Dome. Oh, here's that picture. I have this picture in my office, except it's in color. I love this picture a lot. All right, 1 second, please. Plasma Apocalypse. I have so many folders and subfolders from all my research, like all day long. I'm just putting things in folders. All right, dome. There it is. Boom. Remember when that guy cracked his dome and I was like, the crack in the dome. I love it. All right. Moon breaking. No. DC. No. Let's do. Okay. I'm trying to find which one looks the most like a mushroom. But basically, what a sad picture that is. It's supposed to be see-through. It's absolutely not. Okay, anyhow, the dome portion of the sky, right? Whatever, it doesn't have to be perfectly looking like that, right? It could be more oblate or whatnot, right? A little chubbier in the middle, as some people say. But yeah, that's the top portion of the mushroom, right? One side of the mushroom, the inside, will make you grow smaller. The other side of the mushroom, the outside, aka space, the final frontier, or whatever's out there, right? We just call it space for now. That makes you grow taller, right? That's what that is. All these things have to do with the size, right? And that's what has to do with the shape of our world, right? Stephen King's Under the Dome. Oh yeah, I've got all kinds of these dome ones. Under the Dome there. That crappy picture. The ancient Hebrew depiction. Now check this out. I really like this one right here. I think I have a better version of it. 1 sec. Wait. Yeah, okay, let's look at this one real quick. I want to zoom in on this. All right, now check this out. Look at the top portion, what they wrote, right? Okay. Gate of heaven. And there's a hole in the dome. Do you see that? Yes, it's also an egg, actually. The egg symbolism is exactly what that is. The egg breaking open, stuff hatching outside of it, stuff being born. That's all the symbolism right there. But yeah, gate of heaven. Whew, heaven's gate. That's that cult that I was talking about that one day, right? Oh, man. So, okay, now, what does that have to do with anything, right? Well, it has everything to do with everything, because I started off, one of my topics that I began starting off, by the way, thanks for all of the extra suggestions. I really like the Felix the Cat. I'm going to have to look up Hermione Granger's. I don't remember that one. I vaguely remember that one. But I started off talking about elves, the Elu, the Elohim, etc. How long am I going to torture? The Titans, that's what I'm getting at. Let me go ahead and pull up some pictures of Titans while we're on the subject. One side will make you grow taller. The other side will make you grow smaller. So, what's going on with size in our world, right? Seems like the further back in time we go, things were bigger. They just got bigger and bigger. They grew and they grew and they grew, right? Now, the further back in time we go, the closer we get to what's right around the corner for us now, which is our near future, because time is cyclical, right? Samyaza says, JayDreamerZ, as a child, I always thought the full moon was our only way to space, and beyond the moon was white. Ooh, I like that. Took me forever to figure that out. But that's awesome, though. All right, what was I about to pull up? Oh, yeah, some pictures of Titans. Let's check out the Titans again. I haven't used this folder in quite some time, so it's time we brush up and connect everything, right? Because what I started talking about, the elves, the Elu, the gods, the angels, the demons, the vampires, the whatever, I don't remember all the different words people call them. That's what I started talking about. And then I started talking about Titans. And then I got into mud fossils. And this is all a beautiful little packaging because it's all the same. It's all the exact same. These are all parts of the exact same story, right? Ooh, good one, Dennis. Dennis L says the atmosphere has changed with breaking the dome. So here's the main thing, right? Because I'm still trying to figure out some things. I meditate on a lot of stuff, right? Wondering at things. Here's what we know. Based on the history, here's what I have come to so far, is that the further back in time you go, the taller things were. The bigger things were. We clearly don't have ancient giant trees today, right? Just laying around, growing, dropping their ancient giant fruit everywhere and curing world hunger and stuff. We clearly don't have gigantic titans just roaming about the countryside like Kronos here. Look at that tiny little dot. You see that? That is a person. Let me zoom in on that. That is, I forgot that guy's name, but he's a video game character guy. Kratos? Is that his name? Kratos? I think his name's Kratos. Kronos. That's how big the Titans were. Look at that. There's a Titan. Attack on Titan. Now the Titans are real. Oh, Sean Wheeler says, JayDreamerZ. Thought so inside the dome is 3rd density. Outside the dome is 4th density, maybe 5th. Could possibly be. I don't know. Not totally 100% sure. But let's figure out some stuff, right? Here's what we know. When things come inside of this magic bag, this world is Mary Poppins' magic bag. This world is Merlin's magic bag. This world is also the lamp of the genie, right? The fire inside the lamp, etc., right? The sun, the focal point. It's also the bottle of the genie. I like the bottle better because, glass, ice wall, all that stuff. This world is the TARDIS in essence, right? Outside of the TARDIS, when you step outside of the TARDIS, or when you step inside the TARDIS, it's bigger on the inside than it looks, right? When you're looking at the TARDIS, which is dark blue, kind of like the sky, okay? You look at it, it looks very small. When we step outside, we look up there. Yes, I know we've been conditioned to think, wow, the sky is just so big. That's because we're looking through it instead of at it. You see what I'm saying? We're looking through the sky. We're imagining that the darkness that we're looking at is not the limitation. Although we all know the sky is the limit, right? I mean, that's what we always say. The sky's the limit. Well, the sky is the limit because you hit it. You hit that highest, hardest glass ceiling like Hillary Clinton talks about, right? Or whoever. Everybody talks about it. But here's the deal. When the sky opens up, right? Or perhaps even when the light reverses, we might be able to see the heavens in their glory. Let me go back to this other picture. Remember that picture I said I liked so much? I would love to share that once more. What's the name of that picture? Does anyone know the name of that picture? I was looking it up, but I forgot the name of it. London says, I think it was the 7 Voyages of Sinbad. Oh, okay. Boy genie, evil sorcerer, princess who gets shrunk down. I remember. I like that movie. I remember it specifically because somebody has their foot turned into like a duck foot. No, it's not a duck foot. It was like a bird foot. Some sort of bird. I don't remember what it was. That was a long time ago. Yeah, somebody like had their foot turned into a bird, and I don't know why. I was a kid when that movie came out, and it freaked me out that they had a bird foot. That's all I remember about it. Okay, what does anyone remember the name of that picture? I'll bring up the black and white version of it real quick. Let's see. We have to go back into Plasma Apocalypse and then Dome. Yeah, Dome. And then we'll go back to my little picture. Oh, it's not in that one. It's in the Flat Earth one. All right. Let's go back to Flat Earth. All right. Flat Earth. Boom. There it is. I wish I had the color version like my poster. I really like it. All right. So anyhow, here's the picture. I forgot the name of this. If anyone could help me out, I would really appreciate it. Dennis L says mushroom has its own climate under the top. Ooh. Oh, he didn't finish the transformation. Thanks, Sean. You're right. All right, so check this out. You see this right here? That is the dome. This is an ancient artist's conception of the world we currently live in, right? It's not metaphor. This is not a metaphor for anything at all. This is a very actual drawing as best as they could represent the world. All right? Even with like, boom, that one giant tree right there. Anyhow, on the other side of the sky, right, this guy crawls through, he lifts it up. There's a story that goes along with this picture too. This is based off of an actual story that somebody, I think it was a monk or a priest or someone, they went out to the edges of the world, and they said that when they got to the edge, there was actually a little space when they crawled underneath it, and they were able to look out and see the heavens or space or whatnot. I forgot. I wish I could pull up the article right now, but I can't remember the name of the picture. Mother Dragon says, JayDreamerZ, the promo video for the new Doctor with Jodie was the 13th accidentally shattering the dome glass ceiling that was made to look like the sky as she smirked and said, whoops. Are you serious? Wait, is that like next season's promo? I just teared up a little bit. I seriously did. I teared up a little bit. Oh, man. Will you put a link in the chat for me, please? So that I could check that out? Or I'll otherwise, you don't have to. Otherwise, I'll just remind myself if I can. All right. So anyhow, this guy, he crawls to the edge of the world, basically. He peeks under the dome, however that's possible. And he looks out, and this is what he draws. This is what the drawing was, right? Some people have assumed that this up here is Ezekiel's wheels inside of wheels, if you're a Bible scholar, Christian Bible scholar. But as you can see, this is space out here. This on the inside is darkness. Look at the sky. It's dark. You see that? It is dark. That's the dark world. That's the dark city. This place is a dark, covered up, pressurized place of death. Which don't get me wrong. I'm happy. I'm happy to have this experience. But I'm also very being blunt and direct and honest. Give me a second to find the video. It was soon after she was officially announced. Oh! You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, there's some sort of vague memory in like the back of my mind. I can't wait to see that again. I love that. All right. So, thanks for sharing that, by the way. All right. So look outside here. He looks outside of this. Now pretend this is the TARDIS, okay? So let's say you're inside of the Earth. You're standing down here. You're a little Smurf down here in the Smurf world, right? Living under the mushroom. And you look up. Now let's say you look at all these little things called stars, and you look at the blackness, which is just the ceiling, and you're looking through it, imagining in your wonderful creative imagination that it goes on forever and ever and ever. And that's what it looks like. It's all empty and black and void and a vacuum. And it's like, it's nothing. Like you imagine that that's the world of death out there. Because they say you can't survive the harshness of space or whatever. I'm sorry, but if you're just watching my channel, like if you're new, the world is upside down. All of our beliefs, all of our views, every truth that's ever been told to us, every teaching, every person, I mean, it's all backwards. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I need to get it out of me. I see this stuff all the time. I need to talk about it. I got to get it out of there. Otherwise, I feel like I'm nuts. I feel crazy. Like, you know what I mean? That's why I'm so happy to meet other people like all of you, who make me feel less crazy. It makes me feel proud to have these ponderings and wonderings that I have. And these noticing the things about the world. It is backwards, man. Academia says, look up, there's nothing out there. So I say, oh, look up, there's everything out there. Space is dark and black, even though it's full, allegedly, of all these brilliant lights. Right? This doesn't make any sense. Space is not black, space is white. The opposite is true. Jeez, it's like, it's almost the easiest thing in the world once you figure it out. Let's see here. Through the Looking Glass. Good one, Samyaza. Says Through the Looking Glass. This dome right here, this is the Looking Glass. Okay, it's made of ice, most likely. Okay, some sort of clear substance. I vote for ice. I think it's ice. For good reasons too. Sean Wheeler says, I believe it's a Gnostic painting. It's one of my favorites. Me too. I wish it said it on my poster. I could probably look it up. Piercing the Veil, says Britt. Is that what it's called? Is that a Zeppelin album cover? No, but you know what? Hey, guess what? It could be. It absolutely could be. All of those types of bands, I mean, it doesn't have to even be a rock band, okay? But the rock bands are very, they're very infamous for having these mystical, occulted album covers, right? Give me an album cover. I will tell you exactly how it's related to our world and the secrets about our world and the plasma apocalypse and so much more. That's what they're all about. It's not even a secret anymore. It's like, it's I don't know how to explain it, but it's like I'm happy because I've started to figure those things out. But at the same time, it's like it's not a mystery anymore. So, the mystery's been taken out of it for me. I don't see a mystery when I look at those album covers and stuff like that. I don't go like, "Ooh, wow, that's so cool. Look at it. I wonder what it means." Like I don't do that anymore. I break it down. I believe it's a Gnostic painting. Yes. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up to the chat. My chat is super small. I don't know why it's super small. Let's see. What is the link? Oh, you gave me the link to the... Okay, I gotcha. I'll click on that. Stairway to Heaven. Yes, Stairway to Heaven. Thank you very much, Mother Dragon. It's awful to be normal, says the Rickest Rick. Corey L says in M. Night's The Village, M. Night Shyamalan, the director or whatever he is, producer. Same thing to me. I always get those two mixed up. I don't know what the difference is. At the end, isn't the girl wearing a robe of sorts when she reaches the edge of the world, which is not unlike the picture? You're absolutely right. High Minded says Flammarion engraving. That's what it is. Thank you so much. High Minded. Hey, you get some stars. High Minded. Yes. Well done. Thank you so much. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop sharing this black and white picture that I have here. Is it this one? Yes. We're going to share the web pages once more. And once again. Flammarion. Oops. Why am I in all caps? Flammarion engraving. Thank you very much to High Minded who figured it out. I used to know that, but I have so much stuff crammed into the old dome. I kill me. All right, so this is the one I have. This is the picture I have. Let me see if I can open this in a new tab here. Open link in a new window. Yes, no, not in a new window. I don't choose that. New tab. That's what I choose. Thank you. Thank you, robot. Oh, well, it's a slice. I don't want a slice. Oh, there we go. All right, cool. So yes, this is, well, my poster still looks a little different. Mine's more colorful. I like mine a lot. All right, but anyhow, this is Flammarion's engraving of the world. I gotta pop out the chat real quick. I'm sorry. Today's kind of like a chill kick back and talk about the plasma apocalypse day. Let's see, one sec. I gotta pop out this chat because the chat's on this like software program that I use, but it's so small I can't even read it. All right, pop out chat. So I go to the actual deal here, pop out the real chat. There we go, perfect, cool. And then I'll put that over the other chat. Yeah, that's way better. Now I can see like everyone's stuff. That's why I say type in @JayDreamerZ because then I could just go right to the comment. All right, so thank you so much, High Minded. Maybe beyond the dome is other life starting, says Dennis L. Semyaza says, JayDreamerZ, kind of hope that when the dome breaks, the ice gets pulled out. Falling down is going to be devastating, only to flow up and out. This event is imminent. Imminent? Imminent. All right, so here's my thoughts on that, okay? A lot of ice is going to fall from the sky. Why am I on that? Why am I on my YouTube stuff? Don't do that. Where's my stuff? See, I'm scatterbrained today. I'm so sorry. I'm super scatterbrained today. All right, so let me type this in. Flammarion engraving. There, I already did it. So let's do it again. Let's go to Wikipedia this time. Let's check this out because this is really interesting stuff. This is good stuff. Like Marty McFly's dad says. Look at that. See? See? That's what happens when I go too fast. Calm down, Jay. All right. Hold on. One sec. I'm so sorry. All right, let's lock that. Jeez, there's so many options. I added a bunch of new stuff and it threw me off. That's why. I added that introduction and stuff. All right, so let's see here. Screen share? No, that's not the right one. Yes, this is the right one. Cool. All right. Yay, I found it out. All right, cool. Here we go. Now we can all read about it. Flammarion engraving. The Flammarion engraving is a wood engraving by an unknown artist, so named because its first documented appearance is in Camille Flammarion's 1888 book L'Atmosphère Météorologie Populaire, the atmosphere popular meteorology. That means popular of the time, by the way. So this concept right here must have been popular at the time, I assume. The engraving has often, but erroneously, I always watch out when they say stuff like that, been referred to as a woodcut. Okay. It has been used as a metaphoric or metaphorical illustration of either the scientific or the mystical quest for knowledge. I'm going to disagree, and I think Circle is going to get the square this time. I don't think this is metaphoric or metaphorical or any of that. I don't think it's a metaphor at all. I think this is very literal. I'm pretty sure this is very super literal, right? And there's all these other wheels within wheels out there. Those are vortexes or vortices. Those are just like in when we broke down RIPD. Remember that? Yeah, I'm doing the hunchback thing again. I got to sit up. Sit up, Jay. Sit up loud and proud. I just have to zoom the video out. That's all I have to do. Anyhow, remember when we broke down RIPD? And he got sucked up into the sky, into the hole in the sky that opens up, right? And then you look around and it was like a honeycomb because there were all these holes, vortexes, wheels within wheels, 666s, spirals, however you want to say it. Wheels within wheels. I mean, that's what that is. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. That was very nice. Saturn has gone direct. Hold on one second. Where's my chat? Oh, I've got too much stuff going on the screen. Ooh, Corey L's going to go watch Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome. See? Beyond the Thunderdome. That's what that is. This is also very simple. Like, I feel like it doesn't even deserve or need an explanation. You know what I mean? Like when you get so like things become normal. Like after you get the shock value of like, oh, whoa, my worldviews are blown. And then you come to accept it as a very real part of reality. After a while, it's just second nature, you know, like you're not really surprised by it anymore. It's more like, yeah, of course, you know, the Thunderdome, it's in reference to our world. And that's why when you put stuff inside of it, it all shrinks down in size. Very small. There's got to be enough room for all, right? And when you leave the dome, or here's the other part. Here's the awesome part. When the dome opens, okay? When the dome opens, things inside of it grow. So you don't have to actually, that's the one exception. That's the fine print. If you're around during the plasma apocalypse, okay, the hole in the sky opens up, the world depressurizes, and everything here starts to grow to gigantic and titanic proportions. At the very least, I should say everything that is born in here, right? Born into a world that is open. How many people know that if you put a goldfish into a small bowl, it'll stay small? But if you put a goldfish into a large tank, it will grow larger. It grows to fit and accommodate the world it lives in. That's like us. That's like everything. So, I'm so easily distracted today. I have to apologize. Semyaza says, absorbing so much info, the brain is trying to categorize it. Right, I know. The Rickest Rick says, the top of the globe on the Wikipedia page was broken as puzzle pieces. Just another puzzle piece. Oh, you're right. Oh, let me check that out. Where is it? Oh, you're super right. Good catch. Check that out. Is it still up there? It still is. Okay, good. I'm juggling all these different things on my computer right now. All right, let's read a little bit more about this. Hold on, let me read one more thing. Mother Dragon says, I sent you that link via the chat on your site for easier access. Hey, thank you, because the chat on my website is the easiest for me. Like, that's the easiest way aside from right now. Actually, that's easier than right now in the chat, because that's just one-on-one chat, you guys and me. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you go to my website, you can just chat with me one-on-one using the chat, if you remember, right? Don't tell everybody, because if too many people start chatting with me, then it's, obviously I can't chat with everybody. All right, so let's check this out. Flammarion's engraving. All right, let's keep on going because there's some interesting stuff here. The print depicts a man clothed in a long robe and carrying a staff, right? Of course he's carrying a staff, and of course he has a long robe, right? He's a magician. He's a wizard. He is a Vulcan. I mean, they're all the exact same things, right? That's why they all dress the very similar ways. They all have big, baggy, long robes or hoods that ended up turning into capes for superheroes. They always have a staff, which turns into a magic wand. You know how like the magicians have like a top hat, right? That's to cover up their pointy heads, basically. Or I mean, it used to be for the real magi, for the aliens, basically, for the phantazoid bipedals. And then they have that little cane, black and white. Of course, everything's going to be black and white. That's how they are magicians. That's how they know magic. They know the secrets of the world. They know things that the general population does not know. They wear black and white to represent, I know both worlds. I understand both these places. Space, aka space, right? So they have their cane, the little magician cane, a little tiny magic wand. It's a cane. It started off as a cane. Actually, before that, it started off as a staff. Right? A staff of power, like the staff of Ra or something. And then it became like a shepherd's staff. And then it became like a little tiny staff. And then it became like a magic wand. And now it's like Harry Potter magic wand deal. Those are all the same thing though. Let's see. Corey L says, I wonder how many generations it took for the Titans to become so massive and then shrink down to our size, unless I missed something again. All right, so here's what I want to do. I would love to talk about this description. I want to read this, then we're going to get back to the Titans and figuring out how everything grows and shrinks in our world. That sounds good to me. All right, so it depicts a man carrying a robe and a staff who is at the edge of the earth, right? Where it meets the sky. There is a place where the earth meets the sky, believe it or not. He kneels down and passes his head, shoulders, and right arm through the star-studded sky, discovering a marvelous realm of circling clouds, fires, and suns beyond the heavens. So this is what he sees when he looks at space. He sees brightness and fullness, and he doesn't see dark blackness. That's ridiculous. That's just the roof above our heads, I appreciate that we are allowed to use our imaginations sometimes, and they're like, hey, look up there. You know what's out there? Use your imagination, basically. And then we could stare up at the ceiling forever, just like wondering at things, which is super funny. Hey, William, you're totally right. Dan Aykroyd's Coneheads, that's exactly what that is, by the way. All right, so one of the elements of the cosmic machinery bears a strong resemblance to traditional pictorial representations of the wheel in the middle of a wheel, described in the visions of the Hebrew prophet Ezekiel, or Ezekiel. The caption that accompanies the engraving in Flammarion's book reads, "A missionary of the Middle Ages tells that he had found the point where the sky and the earth touch." So listen, on this engraving, or whatever this is, this picture, right, from 1888, I believe, it says on it that this is a missionary of the Middle Ages who told, right, that he had found the point where the sky and the earth touch. So this guy drew a picture of it. He drew a picture to match the story, to match the myth, to match the legend, right? All right. Sorry. I'm so scatterbrained today. All right. Attribution. In 1957, astronomer Ernest Zinner claimed that the image dated to the German Renaissance. Can you guys see all this? Oh, let me scooch this a bit. Scooch. There we go. But he was unable to find any version published earlier than 1906. Further investigation, however, revealed that the work was a composite of images characteristic of different historical periods, and that it had been made with a burin, a tool used for wood engraving only since the late 18th century. The image was traced to Flammarion's book by Arthur Beer, an astrophysicist and historian of German science at Cambridge, and independently by Bruno Weber, the curator of rare books at the Zurich Central Library. You notice how all these people that they're talking about have degrees and pedigrees and titles and stuff. They never say yes, so the image was actually traced back to to Robert, who hung out on the corner most of the day and played in the mud or whatever, like normal people doing whatever they did back then. You know what I mean? No, it's always got to be like these authorized people with titles and whatnot, right? No one would ever like authorize. No one would ever quote me unless they said, you know, like, yeah, JayDreamerZ, the YouTuber guy or the, you know, whatever the title holder. Like, they couldn't just say like, yeah, some passerby said some deep esoteric truth to me one day. Nobody would believe it, right? I would. Or I would be inclined to listen to it. All right, Flammarion had been apprenticed at the age of 12 to an engraver in Paris. It is believed that many of the illustrations of his books were engraved from his own drawings, probably under his supervision. Therefore, it's plausible that Flammarion himself created the image, though the evidence for this remains inconclusive. Like most other illustrations in Flammarion's books, the engraving carries no attribution, meaning like this is the person that drew this. Although sometimes referred to as a forgery or a hoax, Flammarion does not characterize the engraving as a medieval or Renaissance woodcut, and the mistaken interpretation of the engraving as an older work did not occur until after Flammarion's death. The decorative border surrounding the engraving is distinctly non-medieval. All right, so all they're saying is they're wondering who made this picture, right? Let me get to the good stuff. In Flammarion's L'atmosphère météorologie populaire, the image refers to the text on the facing page, page 162, which also clarifies the author's intent in using it as an illustration. It says, "Whether the sky be clear or cloudy, it always seems to us to have the shape of an ecliptic arch. Far from having the form of a circular arch, it always seems flattened and depressed above our heads, and gradually to become further removed toward the horizon. Our ancestors imagined that this blue vault, meaning locked up, meaning a pressurized world, right? A container, a bag, a bottle, a genie lamp, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same. Was really what the eye would lead to them to believe it to be. But as Voltaire remarks, this is about as reasonable as if a silkworm took his web for the limits of the universe. The Greek astronomers represented it as formed of solid crystal substance. Whew. So, for all the Greek-loving people out there in academia, you know, that, like, all of your academics stands upon the shoulders of the ancient Greeks, okay? I wish you would also incorporate some of the other beliefs of the ancient Greeks, like gigantic skyscraper-sized people. Or, right, as it says here, the sky is formed of a solid crystal substance, which I say is ice. And so recently as Copernicus, there's Copernicus right there, I see you. A large number of astronomers thought it was as solid as plate glass. Hey, are we still live streaming? It looks like the chat stopped. I hope I'm still live streaming. Let me just double check. Maybe everybody's just listening intently. Let's see. Where is it? I've got so much stuff running on the computer. I'm just making sure because it has happened in the past. Okay, looks like we're good. Sorry. It's okay if you're quiet. I totally don't mind. I totally don't mind. I'm honored. I'm honored that everyone's listening. I feel like it's like story time at the library. Which it is, kind of. All right, where was I? Oh, man, I'm so sorry. All right, let me close that. That's going to help. Good. I closed that, thank goodness. Where was I? Just cancel. All right, close this, please. Yes, close it. No, I don't want to save it. Thank you, computer, for being so polite. I appreciate it. My computer is so considerate. All right, where was I? I don't know which screen I'm on. Okay, here it is. Cool. I found it. All right, obviously on the wrong thing there. Okay, so anyways, here's what we were saying, basically. If you're just joining me, we're talking about the sky, okay? What is the sky? What shape is the sky? What's it made out of? We're all kind of on board, like, for the most part. I'm not speaking for everybody. I'm speaking for myself. But everybody understands what my perspective is that I'm sharing, right? Which is that the sky is solid, okay? There's sky, there's stuff beyond the solid limits of our sky, because the sky is the limit, right? There's stuff beyond that. But what we're talking about is why things shrink when they go inside of our sky, right? And why do things grow when they leave our sky? Or why do they grow when our sky opens up? We're going to talk about that in a bit. That kind of led us to checking out this picture right here. I'll just share it with you real quick. This is Flammarion's engraving. So we're checking out this picture. I hope you guys can see, man. I can't. I've got too many screens open right now. All right, so here's the sky. It's a dome, basically, ish. You know, it doesn't have to be a perfect bowl or anything. If anything, it's probably mushroom-shaped. You know how, like, a mushroom isn't like a perfect bowl every time, right? It's kind of flattened out, but also sort of curved at the same time. So, all right, so let's go back down about this. So we're talking about how the ancient Greeks, according to Flammarion, absolutely were sure that the sky was made of some sort of solid plate glass type material. The Latin poets placed the divinities of Olympus and the stately mythologic court upon this vault. Vault. I love how they call it a vault. That is the vault of the sky, and the vault is closed right now, right? It is sealed. Nothing gets in, nothing gets out until the plasma apocalypse. Above the planets and the fixed stars. Previous to the knowledge that the Earth was moving in space, oh, all right. Okay. Previous to people finding out, I'm just going to reword this. Previous to people thinking that the Earth was moving in space and that space is everywhere, the theologians, that's the religious people, had installed the Trinity in the Empyrean, the glorified body of Jesus. What is this picture that keeps popping up? Oh, it's a plasma apocalypse. It's all people getting sucked up. Well, that's easy, right? What was the other one, though? The Empyrean. That's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. In ancient cosmologies, the Empyrean heaven, or simply the Empyrean, was the place of the highest heaven, which was supposedly to be occupied by the element of fire. I roll my eyes. Plasma, right? The word derives from medieval Latin imperius, an adaptation of the ancient Greek imperius. Okay, great, thanks. All right, let's keep going. The Virgin Mary, the angelic hierarchy, the saints, and all the heavenly host, a naive missionary in the Middle Ages, even tells us that in one of his voyages in search of the terrestrial paradise. So wait a minute. There is a missionary in the Middle Ages who is in search of a terrestrial paradise, and we're calling him naive? That doesn't sound naive to me. That sounds admirable. Anyway, it tells us that in one of his voyages in search of the terrestrial paradise, he reached the horizon where the earth... Let me highlight that. He reached the horizon where the earth and the heavens met, and that he discovered a certain point where they were not joined together, and where, by stooping his shoulders, he passed under the roof of the heavens. That's the main part I wanted to read. You guys can feel free to check out the rest of it. It's on Wikipedia. If you want to read the rest of that article, it's underneath Flammarion engraving. Thanks, everyone, for looking that up for me. I appreciate it. Corey L. says, I wonder how many generations it took for the Titans to become so massive. Let's talk about the Titans. Let me get back to my pictures here. See if I could do this properly. Lock that one. Take it off the screen. And show that one. Look at me. I'm getting good. All right, cool. All right, let's see. Now I'm just going to go to the Titan folder here on the old computer. Titans, here we go. All right. Any old Titan will do. For now. Gaia's Wrath. Okay, whatever. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's what it is, okay? First and foremost, our world is pressurized. There's pressure, like pushing down on me. That's exactly what that song's about. That song is not about the pressures of the world, and the lead singer was gay, and so, you know, he had a lot of stuff coming at him from people, and, you know, like, relating to everyone who just has so much on their shoulders. No! That's not what that song was about. Under Pressure is about being under pressure in this world right here. And he has some good friends screaming, let me out. Like NASA or whatever, the Doomsday Preppers. The greatest Doomsday Preppers of all time. So yes, we have a lot of pressure pushing down on us, right? We're literally being squished. in this world. We're being squished. I have an idea. Let me put the chat on that side. Ooh, nice. Oh, was I too loud? Oh, sorry. Hey, Corey, was I too loud? It said it hurt your ears. Let me know because I can turn the volume down. I'm constantly trying to make it better, so let me know, please. So anyways, yes, why does everything shrink in this world? We live in a shrunken world. Have you ever watched any of the Dr. Seuss stories? Any of them. They're all about the Who's, right? There is a band called The Who. It's the same thing. It's little teeny tiny microscopic people. And in their minds, they think they live in a gigantic world, right? They think they're normal sized, just like all of you. All of you would like to believe, oh man, I'm 6 feet tall. No, you're 6 feet microscopic is what you are. Okay, that's what I am. Okay, I'm not saying you, but yes, I am saying you too. So here's the deal, right? Let's talk about this. Pressure is one of the key things that literally just squishes us all down. Oh, downsizing. Good one, Samyaza. Samyaza says, hey man, the downsizing movie, which was kind of not a very good movie, honestly. Like, I watched it because I knew what it was going to be about. And I watched it just to sort of get some confirmation. But man, as far as a movie goes, that was a hard one to watch, man. It was cool to watch them shrink them down and all that stuff, but geez, then they just went left and it was all soap opera-y. Soap opera-ish. Oh, space hurts his ears. Okay, I see. Good. All right, sweet. Cool. Hey, man. Oh, you guys are my friends. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm so happy to be here right now. All right, so anyhow, if you're just joining us, there's 121 people watching right now, allegedly, according to the numbers. I'm JayDreamerZ. This is my channel. I talk about some fringe of the fringe of the fringe, which is actually probably a lot of true stuff, okay? Titans, the elves, the elven race being real, the gods, the angels, the Nephilim, the Anunnaki, vampires, the shape of the world, cosmology, alternative cosmologies, the plasma apocalypse, time travel, all kinds of stuff. We talk about it. Right now we're talking about Titans. Specifically, not just Titan people, right? But we're talking about everything that's Titanic in the age to come, or everything that will grow to be Titanic in the age to come. Let me just move this a bit. There we go. So everything is going to grow. So we talked about one thing that is helping us to shrink, which is the pressure of our world. Okay, let me go back a step. Okay, I got to downshift real quick. All right. Outside of our world, there is an electromagnetic force field. It is literally a force field. Okay. So force fields are not things of fantasy. They're not things of sci-fi. They're not made up things for superheroes and comic books. They're very real. There is a gigantic Earth-sized force field wrapped around our world. It is, in academia, they call it the magnetosphere. I don't know if it's a sphere or not, but that's what they call it. Okay. Spider-Man, you're on it. Yes, good job. All right, so there's a force field around our world. On the other side of that force field, right now, there is plasma spiraling down at our world, right? With its sight aimed on us. That's just the path that it's taking. That's the path it's supposed to take. It's a part of a greater, larger mechanic, I'll say, okay? I don't want to get into that right now. But there's plasma shooting down at that force field. Plasma is rejected by magnetics, okay? It doesn't like magnets. It doesn't like the magnetic force field at all. So when that plasma comes down and hits that force field, it actually doesn't touch it and it just conforms to its shape. It goes all the way around it and then it continues on its path. Now, the plasma makes water, okay? It's a byproduct, okay? Plasma also makes fire, okay? It's the fifth element. It's actually the first element. It makes everything, okay? That's why I don't understand, like, people in academics, they're like, the shapes of the worlds, the shapes of all the planets, they have to be marble-shaped. Like, everything in nature is marble-shaped. Bro, have you looked at nature? Nothing in nature is marble-shaped. Like, I mean, that's not true. Some things are. But, like, look at a tree. Does that look like a ball or a sphere? No, man, it doesn't. Look at a human being, right? Human beings, for religious people, they like to think like we're made in the image of God. So if the sphere shape is the perfect shape, then we should look like spheres, right? Now we have eyeballs, right, that are balls or whatever. Oh, I pushed it. Do you see that? Oh, that's weird. Don't do that. Yeah, we have eyeballs, but they're a part of our larger body that is plasma shaped. Trees produce fruit that is sort of sphere shaped, depending on the fruit, right? But the tree itself is not a sphere shape. It is plasma shaped, tree shaped, okay? Plasma is the shape that shapes everything else and brings life to everything. So anyway, it just blows my mind that I'm getting into something else, so I should stop. I'm getting derailed by myself, by my own thoughts. Okay, so let's look at some different pictures here. Wrath of the Titans. I was talking about something, and I honestly distracted myself just now, and I forgot. Would someone kindly please remind me what the heck was I just talking about? I totally forgot. While I try to remember what I was talking about, Corey L says, JayDreamerZ, so the question is, why do the controllers want us to believe we live on a ball? Oh, okay. Well, that's an easy one. They want you to think you're stuck here. They are going to leave when the sky opens up. They are going to traverse the universe. They don't want you to go tell on them to the space police that are out there enforcing all the rules and regulations of space travel or interdimensional travel or whatever, which is when you get to a new place, a new realm, you're not allowed to go and change everything just because you're more advanced than the people who live there currently. You need to be a watcher only, stay out of it, respect whatever's going on with them. You can be a guide, but you cannot just come right out and just start changing the world, right? That's a rule. That's a rule that they have. They don't want us to tell on them. They don't want us to leave here and go get them in trouble with God or whatever entities are out there that are protecting all these rules. Oh, that's right. Thank you, William. I'm so sorry. I was talking about being squished. All right. So here's the deal for all of you who are watching. All right. We have the sky is a vault. That's what we were talking about earlier. It's a vault. It's locked away. It's solid. It's closed right now. Occasionally, it opens up. A hole in the sky will open up during the plasma apocalypse, which is what we're talking about today. And when that happens, right, the world depressurizes, which means it's a fancy word for we're not being squished anymore, right? So because we won't be squished anymore, we are going to adapt and start to grow, right? Now, here's the thing. Let's say that it happens tomorrow and all of us here survive, okay? I'm not so sure that all of us who have grown up under these conditions are just going to shoot up and become titans. I don't think so. I think that we are going to be godlike because we're going to have these superhuman powers, which I'll show you some of. Hold on. One moment, please. Sorry, I don't mean to sound rude when I say hold on. I have to stop trying to do that. All right, let's just go to my website real quick. Boom. There it is. All right, so I'm going to the Plasma Apocalypse section of my website. Why are you spelling ketchup? Okay, anyways, let's see here. Anyhow, Plasma Apocalypse, there it is. I love the song that I put on here. Yeah, you probably can't hear it, but it sounds like a mix between Beetlejuice and Tales from the Crypt. All right, let me go to the last section, which is the red sky. Oh, I love this song too. Okay, there's actually a really cool song on that one too. All right, so I'm in the red sky. Let me share some of this with you guys. I don't mind sharing this. Where is it? It's my website, right? Screen share. Let's turn this on. Boom. Oh, I turned it off. That's fine too. There we go. Cool. All right, so this is my website right here. Let me see if I can move it around a bit. Everyone's like, oh, record, video record now. I don't mind. It's totally fine. All right, so this is the Plasma Apocalypse section. This is down at the red sky. This is the end. So here is where I talk about people getting superpowers, okay? During the Plasma Apocalypse, all right? People will become super heroes, basically. I'm sorry, I can't look at this. It's too pretty and distracting. So I'm going to have to actually take this down for a second. Here. And it takes up a lot of memory on my computer. So let me just take that down real quick. and stop being so. I'm so sorry. Today's a weird day. All right, let's take that off. Okay, so let me just explain it without looking at all this crazy stuff on my computer. I'm just gonna pretend like it's me and you sitting in the room together. Here's what happens. The world is pressurized. On top of being pressurized, right, we're also running out of oxygen. I don't know if you know that or not. There's not a whole lot of air left, okay? We're actually running out of air. That's why we have oxygen bars and all this crazy stuff happening right now. I can barely breathe in this place. Like, I have spirit memory of a time when I would, it's like breathing was like an entirely different experience to me. See how easy it is for me to talk when I'm not staring at 18 different things on the computer? Anyway, we're running out of air. We're running out of oxygen specifically, but all the other things that are in the air as well, okay? Our air is full of things that are not helping us out, okay? We need the oxygen and some other stuff. We're running out. It is a vault, right? It's a dome, and it's sealed off, and it's a closed system. Even Bill Nye the Science Guy, whatever, says it's a closed system. He actually made a video looking right in the camera, and he says, "One thing I want your generation to understand." That sounds more like Dr. Phil, huh? One thing I want I can't do Bill Nye. One thing I want your generation to understand, you live in a closed system. You cannot get out of the earth, which answers your question, by the way. Why do they teach us that it's a spinning, wobbling, flying, tilting ball through empty vacuum of black space, right? That's because they don't want you to leave. They don't want you to go tell on them, basically. They don't want you to go out there. They're going to leave. They're going to go do the same thing, most likely, to some other place and go mess it up, right? They don't want you to leave. They don't want you to tell on them, basically, because bad stuff happens. But yeah, we're running out of oxygen. We're running out of air, just like in the Terminator, just like in Total Recall, right? They're all running out of air, just like in Spaceballs. They're all running out of air. That is a reflection of our world. They didn't just make that up. They took that from reality, repackaged it into fantasy and a story form, handed your reality right back to you, and you didn't even recognize it, right? We didn't. I didn't recognize it when I first saw it, but something struck me as true about it. So we're running out of air. We live in a pressurized system. We're being squished. Pressure under pressure, right? That's what the song's about. Oh, Imagine Dragons. Oh, I love Imagine Dragons. I listen to them probably every day because pretty much every one of their songs is about everything I talk about. All right. At least that's how I interpret it. Okay, so here's the deal. When the sky is closed off, everything starts to dissipate. Okay? Everything starts to go away. All of the influx of plasma, which is life-giving plasma, which is energy or spirit, however you want to look at it, it dissipates. It starts to go away. It gets used up. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. 1 second. And therefore, everything starts to shrink. The pressure starts to increase. Okay, I don't know if you guys were paying attention to the video at the very beginning where I showed you the confinement dome, the flip ring and the choke ring, right? And all the energy was sliding in underneath the dome, just like Flammarion's engraving. He said he could look underneath the dome. Well, all that energy is filling up this dome, right? And putting pressure on the inside. As well as the earth is just growing and it adds things to its own environment all the time, right? So there's a lot of pressure constantly increasing in our atmosphere. One of these days, the bubble will burst. When all that pressure is adding up and all the oxygen is being depleted and we're being squished for millennia after millennia or hundreds and hundreds of years, we start to shrink. We are the Who's. We live in Whoville right now on the tip of a flower or a mushroom or a dome or however many different ways it's been described, right? We are small today. I mean, there are smaller things than us because it's a fractal verse that we live in, right? So there's always going to be something smaller and there's always going to be something way bigger and always something the same size. Mother Dragon says, JayDreamerZ, where'd you go? I have subconsciously started to breathe shallower the past year as though my unconscious self is training my body to survive on a much smaller amount of oxygen and air. That makes me so happy that you said that because I've also done the same thing. See, here's what's going to happen. When the world depressurizes, all the air is going to get sucked up and out of our world. Not all of it, but a lot of it, okay? It's going to be very difficult to breathe. Not impossible, but difficult. And on top of people being scared out of their minds, excuse me, I'm so sorry. They're going to probably pass out. A lot of people are going to pass out. They're just going to, and they're gone. They're on the floor, okay? One, they're terrified. Petrified, stupefied by you. No, I'm just kidding. By the plasma apocalypse. But the air is getting sucked up and out. Okay, so it's hard to breathe. Like, if you want to know what it's going to be like to breathe in the plasma apocalypse, drive like the maximum amount that you're allowed to drive in your local area on the freeway. Okay, go super fast. Stick your face out of the window, look the opposite way, and then just breathe. Right? That's a small example of what it's going to be like to breathe, okay? Or in that clip that I have, let me see if I could bring up my clip here. I have a clip of this movie called, what is it? Take Shelter? God, man, it's always so hard to think. All right, it's called Take Shelter. Very good movie. It's all about the plasma apocalypse. Has a super sad ending. It's an inspirational ending for people like myself, and it's a warning to people like myself. But yes, 1 second. I would like to share this picture with you. Screen share, is it this one? Yes, it is. Sweet. All right, let's see if I could find it real quick. I have to navigate my own computer now. My computer is getting as big as the internet. All right, it's definitely under Plasma Apocalypse, and it's going to be under, let's see, we've got 2024, Brain Symbolism, no, Cargo Cult, Garbage World, Junk Cities, Junkyard World. That's what I should name that. Cthulhu, The Dome. No. This is going to be under Getting Sucked Up into the Sky. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. No. Where did it go? God, it's too much stuff here now. Floating. That might be it. I'm pretty sure this is it. Because I wrote, yeah, there it is. All right, cool. So here's a little GIF that I made of, oh, come on. All right, let's try this again here. Oh, lame. What's the matter with this thing? Is it this one? Yes, it was. Let's get rid of this one. Boom, go away. Did I mess it up? No, I didn't. All right, no, wrong one, Jay. Right one. Good. This one goes away. This one stays unlocked. I should be able to... No, I still can't move it. What's the deal here? Sorry, 1 second. 1 quick second here. Unlock. I need to lock the rest of this. That's what it is. It is locked. What the heck? Background's locked. 1 second. Sorry. Technical difficulties. I get anxious, basically, is what's happening. I think about too many things at once. All right. Screen share web pages. All right. I don't want that one. I do want this one, but I want to unlock it. There we go. And then move it. Oh, thank goodness. I'm so sorry about that. I make it harder than it really is, probably. All right, so this is a little GIF I made of a little screenshot, whatever, of the movie Take Shelter. God, I almost forgot the name of the movie. Take Shelter. Now, this is a dream that this guy is having. However, you find out in the movie it's literally a premonition. The movie does not explain it, which tells me it's very important. All right, that's how I know things are really important in the movies, the parts that they don't tend to explain, right? The real weird, enigmatic things that they just give no explanation for, throw it out there. Those are my favorite things in the movies. So here's a scene where he has this premonition, this dream, and he's dreaming about the storm. He says, "There's a storm coming," right? That's his whole deal. I did that on Snapchat. It was the funniest thing ever. He says, there's a storm coming, right? He's talking about the worldwide storm, okay? With the eye in the middle, the eye in the sky that opens up. It's the hole that opens up in our world. When the world depressurizes, it's going to start to suck everything out in a circular fashion, in a vortex fashion, and it's going to create a lot of winds that go around. He's having these premonitions of a really, really messed up storm that's basically going to kill everybody. So he doesn't even understand it, right? He doesn't even know what he's even having these premonitions about, and he's getting frustrated. This guy went to a doctor, a psychologist, talked to his friends. Like, He tried to even not tell people about it because he was embarrassed that he was even having these premonitions, right? But in the end, he was right. So here's one of his premonitions, right? First, you don't see it in this particular image here, but the first thing that happens in this premonition or dream is his daughter is sitting like by the window. He walks over to the window and there's like this zombie person. Okay? It doesn't say he's a zombie, but he's definitely plasma possessed, whoever it was. And he's just standing there like staring at him through the window. And then he runs out and he goes, "Hey, hey!" And then all of a sudden the whole house starts to shake, which is the earthquake, the worldwide earthquake that happens, okay? When all this stuff happens, believe me, the ground is going to move. And there's going to be some crazy sounds that you're going to hear. Just be cool. Relax, breathe, meditate. I highly encourage you to start learning how to meditate and take yourself somewhere else mentally because it's going to help you out. But anyway, so next thing to happen, he grabs his daughter. He sort of falls back into this corner of his house. And then as he slides down onto the corner, everything in his apartment or house floats up into the air. This is zero gravity. That also happens because it's the neutral shift during the pole reversal, right? So once we hit neutral, there's not going to be an electromagnetic force. That force field is down. That's how you know the force field is down. So get ready when stuff starts floating. All right. Now look at his face. You see that? They instructed him to act with that particular face. Look, take a good look at his face here. Let me see if I can make it bigger. Oh, it keeps resetting every time I do. All right, let's look at his face. What does it look like he's doing? Right? Looks to me like he's having a difficult time breathing while all this stuff is floating up into the air. Right? Like maybe he's either holding his breath because he can't breathe or he's having a seriously hard time breathing, right? All right, let me shrink that back down. So that's what happens when the sky depressurizes. All the air starts to get sucked up, and people are going to have a hard time breathing. So the reason I brought this up is because Mother Dragon was saying that she started practicing shallower breaths. That's going to be good, but at the same time, I want to encourage everyone out there to also practice taking very deep breaths. Get as much oxygen into your system now as you can. I'm actually taking little oxygen supplements right now. Get your blood oxygenated. Get a whole bunch of oxygen in there. Start working on your respiratory stuff. You know, if you can jog, go jogging or you know, walk around more, whatever. Like, I have like, my nose is messed up. That's why I have to pull it to the side. But get oxygen into your system because that might just help you out when it comes down to it, you know, and all the oxygen's getting sucked out of our world. But taking those shallow breaths and learning how to survive off of less oxygen is going to be a tool that you may employ during this happening. During this event, okay? You need to learn how to be disciplined with your own body and learn how to continue to keep breathing when all this crazy stuff is happening. Otherwise, I'll tell you what's going to happen. You're going to pass out. Okay? And Freddy Krueger is the plasma apocalypse. Don't fall asleep. Okay? Because if you fall asleep, first and foremost, it's going to be, the odds are way more in favor of you're not going to make it. Okay? Don't fall asleep. Don't pass out. Okay? Just think a happy thought. Okay? Think a happy thought. Go to your happy place in your head, whatever you have to do. You know what I mean? Go into your little closet and pray or do mantras or whatever you do to bring you peace, okay? So that you can remain calm. You need to remain calm when this stuff happens. Sean Wheeler says, earplugs and shooters earmuffs. Hey, you know what? Earplugs are a really good idea because a lot of people's eardrums are going to get ruptured, which means they're going to go deaf. Excuse me. Which is why, I'm so sorry. 1 second. Let's take a quick break. I want to talk more about this. Let's take a quick break. I have to go drink something or whatever. I've got some issues happening. So we're going to take a couple minute break. We'll be right back and we're going to talk some more about the plasma apocalypse, specifically the depressurization of our world, the hole in the sky opening up, and things getting bigger when that happens, including the story of the Nephilim. The story of the Nephilim. Who are the Nephilim? And Genesis chapter 6. Remember, the sons of God saw the daughters of man, and they had kids, and those kids became the Titans, basically. All right, I'll be right back. thank you guys so much for your patience, and I'll just put up a little be right back screen for you. You want to say hi to everybody? Well, you gotta look this over here. Look over here. See? Well, she's facing the other way right now. All right. Come on down here. That's Delilah. This is Delilah. She's my little dog person. Say hi, Delilah. Yo, so check this out. Earlier, this is unrelated, but she talks to me. She did. Like, she always talks to me, and I have learned to listen to my dog, which is also something you can look forward to. Is this on? Oh, good. I've done that in the past, right? You can look forward to being able to speak to with animals should you survive the plasma apocalypse. That's also a part of it. Telepathy, basically. Okay, so we're back, and we're talking about the world. The things that go into the bag, okay? The things that go into the lamp, the genie bag, the lamp, Felix's bag, the bag of Mary Poppins, all that stuff. It gets smaller. Oh, that's right. So Delilah came up to me earlier. She was at the window, and she ran up to me, and she was like, and she was trying to tell me something, because I listen. I very much am in tune with her, and I was like, is something at the window? And so I went to the window. There were deer outside, and she was going nuts because these deer were out there. All right. So when you put things into our world, they get smaller only after the world seals back, the sky seals back up. Okay, the sky is going to seal up, and once the sky seals up, then it's going to start to become pressurized again, slowly. It doesn't mean that everything is going to start shrinking right away, but slowly over time, everything's going to start getting smaller and smaller and smaller as the pressure increases and as the oxygen depletes. There's probably some other factors in there as well. I'm all ears if you guys have other ideas as well, things that contribute to our growth or our shrinking as well, right? So let's talk about Genesis chapter 6. Let's get off this picture. This has been on here forever. The claw. Farewell, my friends. I go to a better place. The claw chooses who goes and who stays. The claw's the Valkyries. The plasmic Valkyries that come down and choose who lives and who dies. Basically. See how he's going up into space there? This is Pizza Planet. We live on Pizza Planet, okay? I'm sorry. I'm distracting myself with all these pictures. I'm just going to leave it. Where should I leave it? Right there? No, let's go to the Titans. That's where I was doing in the first place. All right, sorry about that. Let's go to the Titans. Let's find pictures of said Titans, because that's what we're talking about. I want to find a good one. There, that one's good. That works for me. I like this one anyway. This one's from Blade Runner 20 some odd 47 or 2049 or something like that, right? All right, let me make sure that I can move this image around without messing it all up. There we go. Move it. Yes, success. All right, cool. So this is from the movie Blade Runner, right? This little guy, this is showing you the truth. First of all, the background. See how it's that rusty orange colored sky, right? That's a part of the plasma apocalypse. The sky itself will be illuminated. Our atmosphere will be illuminated. It's going to be a colorful place to live. Not like today. There's not a lot of color, honestly, right? It's very clear, very blinding white light coming down from the point of focus up there called the sun, or the, people commonly call the sun. So Genesis chapter 6. Let me, I do have a Bible. Hold on. Okay, let me just crack open the old Bible here, Genesis chapter 6. This is from a hotel Bible. I assume they want me to take it. That's why they put it in there. All right. I don't know which hotel it was, but I needed one, and they gave me one. So, it's not stealing. This is the free word of God, I've been told. 1 second. Scooby-doop-doop. All right, Genesis chapter 8 should be on the next page here. Here we go. One more page. Genesis chapter 6. I'm going to read right from it. See? Got it right here. All right, Genesis chapter 6. This is probably the King James version, I'm guessing. I don't know. Or the New King James, maybe. When men began to multiply on the face of the land and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of man were attractive, and they took their wives as they chose. Then the Lord said, My spirit shall not abide in man forever. So, for he is flesh, his days shall be 120 years. My spirit. There's a lot of ways that this could be interpreted, right? Especially if you have that plasma mindset, right? The Nephilim were on the earth in those days. And usually when people say Nephilim, they say it with such disdain and disgust in their voice, like Nephilim. You know what I mean? Like it's just this dirty, bad word or whatever. The word Nephilim, the root of the word Nephilim is Nephil or Nifl or Niph, basically, right? It's like the word Nepal. Like the country Nepal. It means to come down or to fall down, right? It doesn't mean fallen like they are bad guys. I'm not taking sides. I'm not saying they're good or bad, right? I'm sure they're probably just like us. There's good, bad, and in between up there. But anyway, the ones who came down, which is also the translation of Anunnaki, right? Nepal, Nephal, Nephalim, etc. And it's like a PH, just like phone is spelled with PH, right? That's why people say Nephalim. All right, so the Nephilim were on the earth in those days. The I-M is just plural. Nephalim. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God came into the daughters of man, and they bore children. Got all crazy on me there. They bore children to them. These were the mighty men who were of old, the men of renown. All right, that is one way of saying it, okay? That's one way of saying it. Let me say it in my way, basically. In my way of saying it, let's look at the future instead of looking at the past. Let's imagine. The plasma apocalypse is next week, we'll say, right? I know some people are like, no, oh my God, I'm not ready. You're never going to be ready, right? Trust me, it's going to be okay. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. You'll be all right. All right, so plasma apocalypse is next week, right? The sky opens up, the world depressurizes, etc., and so on and so forth, right? You make it through. The sky's red, the blue beam in the center of the world shoots up into the sky and stops Cthulhu and all the plasma tentacles from coming down, and they start to go away and dissipate because that force field, right? Remember the electromagnetic force field, that field of force that's around our world? It goes back up, right? It goes back up, and the plasma that's on the outside, that's now going upwards, it conforms to it, and it does not come into our world. The sky is vaulted once again. There's a vault of our sky once again. It's sealed off, okay? Now, there is an influx of plasma in our world. There's probably, this is more of a gut feeling on my part because I don't know a lot of the science behind it. I would like to. And I'm going to start studying it. So that's my purpose. I'm going to start studying this so that I can share it with you guys too. But I believe that the world will receive an inundation of not just plasma, but also oxygen and some other elements that are vital for our growth and our healing as well. So those survivors, those of you who survive, are going to experience accelerated healing like Wolverine, okay? If you're familiar with the X-Men, Wolverine's super healing power is one that you will probably have if you're a survivor of the plasma apocalypse. All right. The other thing is you will have an extended life. The gods were the immortals. The elven race, the Elu, right? They had extended lives. They lived on for hundreds and hundreds of years, maybe sometimes longer than that, right? So we know this. So this is what happens. The plasma is spirit. It's going to give life to everything. It's going to rejuvenate everything that wasn't destroyed, right? This is the phoenix. This is symbolism of the phoenix. This is rising up out of the ashes, circular life, etc. So here's what happens. You and I, our bodies are used to this world right here. They may change a bit, okay? We may grow a bit, possibly, but this is the world we're used to right now. So let's just pretend like none of us grow, okay? We don't turn into titans or anything like that. Dark Star 6909 just subscribed. Welcome to my channel. All right, so let's say we don't grow, but here's the thing that we do have. We do have the muscles from this world right here. We grew up working out, even if you don't even exercise, okay? You walk around, you pick things up, you make dinner, whatever. You are working out. You're exercising. You're lifting up objects under this pressure system, right? Under everything that's pressurized here. And I believe, based on my research thus far, that when the magnetic force is reinstituted, I don't think it's reinstituted with all of its former glory and power. I don't think it's as strong. I think it starts off very weak, and then it gets stronger and stronger over time. If that's true, then that means that your muscles are attuned to things that are much heavier in this age now, okay? Let's just say that gravity is much weaker after the plasma apocalypse. If that's true, and the thing known commonly as gravity is weaker after the plasma apocalypse because of the electromagnetic force being weak to begin with and then getting stronger and stronger, that means that everything is going to weigh less, but your muscles are the same. You're basically going to have super strength. You're going to be able to jump, leap tall buildings in a single bound, and you're going to be able to run extremely fast, okay? Exactly like in John Carter of Mars. I don't know if you've seen the movie or read the book, but when John Carter, who was a human here on Earth, he got sucked into Mars, the red planet, which represents this right here, right? The afterthought of the plasma apocalypse, the afterworld, right? Red, orange, whatever the various colors are of the sky, depends on where you live. But John Carter wakes up on Mars, and he has to learn how to walk all over again because his muscles are used to walking around under the heaviness of Earth's gravitational pull. But now he's on Mars that has a lessened gravity to it. And so basically when he walks, he leaps into the air accidentally. He has to reteach himself to walk gently. And if he wants to, he can jump and just go super far. And the aliens in that world are very impressed because they grew up with their muscles being used to that atmosphere with that weakened gravity. So to them, everything is normal. So if that's you and you survive the plasma apocalypse, you're basically going to be John Carter of Mars. So you're going to be the gods in this scenario, okay? If you're a religious person, don't let that word trigger you. Don't let that concept trigger you. I'm not saying that you are the almighty, omnipotent God. Okay. I will talk about that when we get more into the fractal verse of it. Okay. Because at the deepest level, it's kind of true. But we're not talking about that right now. I'm just saying that you are like those angels that have super strength and superpowers. You are like the superheroes that are in our comic books and everything. Okay. If you make it into this next world. Now, not immediately, because obviously all the survivors, they're all going to have the same stuff, right? They're all going to be survivors of the prior world, but not the babies that are born into that world. The babies who are born into the next world, they will grow up and their muscles will be weaker. They will be used to a weakened gravity and everything being however heavy it is in the next age. Now, because the sky has opened up and promoting growth and all of that, those kids are going to grow and grow and grow, just like those plants, like the plant life, the animal life, all of that stuff is going to grow and grow and grow and grow. We might not. Those animals and plants and people who came from the old age into the new may not grow to be titanic in stature. We might grow a bit. We might. I don't know how much. But right now, this is where I'm coming from. It seems to me like we will have children, the sons of God, okay? Or even, and keep in mind, there probably will be bipedal fantazoid, sliders, space travelers, whatever you want, who will probably come down once again, land here. I don't know what their status is. It depends on what the world was like wherever they just came from, right? If they just came from a depressurized world, they might be really big. They might be gigantic or giant. If they came from space itself, they could be titanic in nature, right? Because anything outside of the bag, when you pull it out of the bag, when Mary Poppins pulls stuff out of the bag, it grows back to its regular size, right? Or what are the other things? Let's see. We have Mary Poppins' bag, the lamp, right? The bottle and the TARDIS. All right, these are all the same things, basically. All right, so we have children in the next age. Those children grow up weaker than we are because we were working out our entire lives under this heavy pressure, right? When you lift up something, you're lifting it up against all the pressure that is pushing down from above, which is a serious amount of pressure right now, which is squishing us down and keeping us tiny, but also keeping us very strong for the world to come. Does this make sense so far? Semyaza's in the chat and says, JayDreamerZ could only imagine if we lived 800 years. No wonder they have vast knowledge. Well, you will. You will. I'm confident that you will. Okay. I could be wrong, obviously, but I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that many people, there's going to be pockets and pockets of people who survive, and diseases are going to be cured. Ailments are going to be cured. A lot of people are going to have rapid accelerated healing, right? And you're going to live a lot longer. So you're going to live for hundreds and hundreds of years, just like it was in the beginning of the Bible in Genesis, like we just read, right? In Genesis, in the Bible, people lived for hundreds and hundreds of years because that was right after the creation or the creation event, the Genesis event, the life-giving event, the plasma. And then God says, my spirit, aka plasma, will not stay with man forever because it's going to dissipate because the dome seals up, pressurizes, the sky is vaulted now, nothing can get in, and we start using up all those resources like oxygen, right? It starts to deplete, and the pressure increases as the energy slips into our world from outside until the bubble bursts once again. It's a cycle. It's the beautiful cycle of life here. So that's where the Titans come from, basically, right? Here's Medusa. I'm just going to go through some of these. Medusa is most likely, that's the hole in the sky, the eye in the sky, Nibiru, whatever you want to call it. That's the hole that's going to open up in the sky, the plasma vortex tunnel that's going to open up there and suck everything up into it. The plasma is the snakes coming off of the Medusa's head. Now, quite often, Medusa's actually pictured sticking her tongue out. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but the reason that they draw these ancient heads of people and they're going like Kali, I think Kali's one of them, and they stick their tongue out. Why? It's not because they're just childish, right? They're not just like, I'm Kali and you're not, no, that's not what that's about. The elongated tongue sticking out of the hole in the head, okay, is the plasma. The tongue is pink, red, whatever, like plasma is. It's just symbolic that the plasma is coming out of the mouth, which is the hole in the sky. And the snakes coming off of her face are the plasma strands, the plasma tentacles coming down, and they will petrify particular areas of this world. They are very powerful. The larger streams of plasma have the potential to petrify instantly. Let's check out some other things. The Jolly Green Giant, right? He goes around planting stuff or whatnot. Here's this is like a lot of this is plasma. A lot of this is Titan symbolism, but it's also kind of mud fossil symbolism. Look at this. I forgot what movie this is. I like this movie. A Monster Calls, I think it was, right? Oh, why did I do that? I gotta learn how to, I gotta reteach myself how to do this here. Crazy. Okay, Jay, click on that first, then move it. Okay, cool. All right, he says, humans are complicated beasts. You believe comforting lies, says the mythic Int. Says the Int forest-dwelling creature, the tree creature, right? I'm telling you guys, the things that we have been told are not true. The opposite of those things are true. I find way more truth and information in fantasy and stories and stuff like that. Here's Atlas, who's holding up the world. This is a wrong depiction. This is a modern depiction of Atlas. This is not how Atlas is at all, okay? This has been manipulated. Atlas does not hold the earth up. He holds the sky up. You know why they needed to create someone to hold the sky up? Because the sky is solid, okay? All right? They needed something to hold up the sky, not the earth, not the whole portion of it, just the sky. He stood on the earth holding up the sky. So this is an incorrect portion. But there's actually this microscopic entity. I don't know what it's called, but I've shown you guys a few times on some of my videos. There's this thing. I don't know what it is. It's like a microscopic little organism, little life creature that lives inside your body that looks like a person. And it walks around holding on to these gigantic balls of information. I don't know what they are. Maybe they're atoms or something. I don't know what they are. This is the, I don't know his name, but he's like the action superhero in like a lot of movies lately. It's Jack and the Beanstalk. Is that what that is? I don't remember, but this is a Titan, okay? The Jack and the Beanstalk story is absolutely true. The Beanstalk is the beam, the blue beam, Project Blue Beam, right? The blue fairy that shoots up out of the middle of our world, Godzilla's atomic breath, shooting straight up out of the middle of our world, that fights off and staves off the incoming red tentacles of the Red Dragon or Cthulhu or King Ghidorah or whatever it is. It shoots up. That's Jack's Beanstalk. If you were to go up Jacob's ladder, Jack's Beanstalk, whatever you want to call it, and you get up past the heavens, you will be in the realm of the giants or the titans, however you want to look at it. You will be tiny if you go from this world, right now, and you go up there. You're going to be small in comparison to everything that is out there, because space as we know it is very large, and things grow to fit the size of the world they live in. Right? Does that make sense? Attack on Titan. Here's a Titan climbing over the wall, right? This is the wall of our world. The Titans the Nephilim, right? Or the space fractal travelers, whatever you want to call them, space travelers. It's probably easier to just call them space travelers, but I like using my own vocabulary. You know what I mean? They very well might come into our world and look very bony white, kind of like how this guy does. Maybe a little blush in there, because we know the Phantazoids are that white pearlescent, opalescent kind of a color, right? Attack on Titan has a lot of truth to it. I've never watched the show, but I have studied it, if that makes sense. It's come up a lot. Look at that. That's my birthday down there. Attack on Titan. All right, here you have the plasma and the Titan, right? So during the next plasma apocalypse that happens, okay, because they're gonna continue happening, we will have a world where children were born into a world where they're gonna grow up and become Titans, gigantic, titanic people. Okay, I don't know if it's gonna be all of them or anything. I'm just spitballing right now, right? And when the next plasma apocalypse comes, guess what that plasma is going to be attracted to? Right, the biggest, tallest creatures, the biggest, tallest trees, the biggest, tallest people, the biggest, tallest buildings. And so the Titans are going to be destroyed by said plasma, which is exactly what happens in Greek mythology. In Greek history, I should say, right? In Greek history, what happened was you had the war between the gods, us, who come from this age into the next, where we have superpowers and stuff like that, and there's a war between us and the Titans, who grow to such a size and they start becoming super hungry and they want to eat everything. We obviously don't eat a whole bunch in comparison, right? An elephant has to eat, what? I'll make it up, but it's like its own weight every day or something like that, right? A ridiculous amount of food. Large beings require larger amounts of food. And this is the story that's been told about the Titans. They basically ate all the world's food supply that was growing, which is stuff that we grew, all the little tiny things that grew, right? And they started eating people. They became cannibals. They started eating people. So the Titans started eating their own people, basically. Oh, man. Anyway, so what happens in Greek history is that in order to defeat the Titans, the gods had to call upon Mother Earth, Gaia, basically, who released the Hecatenares. The Hecatenares means the 100-armed being. 100 arms. If you see a being with 100 arms, right, in mythology, or if it's depicted in like Hinduism or anything like that, all those different arms represent the different strands of plasma. Plasma splits into different arms, different hands, different fingers, or whatever. That's why your hand looks like that. You are conformed to the image of God, which is plasma, right? That's why your fingers spread out like that. Otherwise, you'd probably just be a ball. Right? That's what academia says. Oh, so not just the Hecatenares to kill the Titans, which is the plasma strands, right? The plasma tentacles that come down, but also the Cyclops. Cyclops, the round eye, right? Typically, when they draw the Cyclops, which does not imply one eye, they always put it with one eye, right? We can't even imagine a Cyclops with two eyes. You can absolutely have two eyes. I'm a Cyclops. I have round eyes, right? But they always draw it with one eye. That's a hint. That's symbolism. That's something that has been drawn in order to pass down information through story and metaphor secretly to those who have the ears to hear and the eyes to see. The Cyclops is the eye in the sky that opens up. And the eye in the sky opens up, and it brings with it the Hecatenares, the 100-armed being, which comes down, sees the Titans, and is like, oh, you look attractive. I'll land on you. They become petrified. They fall down and become mountain ranges and all kinds of crazy stuff. It's mud fossil theory. Look, you got Paul Bunyan here, right? The Titans will probably help to terraform much of our world. Along with the plasma itself, it terraforms our world. But I mean, if you're that big, you can't help but to terraform the world. You just walk around and you're terraforming the world. Yes, Cynthia, we do. So Cynthia asks, we have tiny people living inside us, holding us up. Yes, you do. I'm just going to be direct. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask. But yes, you do have tiny people living inside you. I like how that sounds. I like being very direct with weird stuff. I love it. Oh, this is from BFG, right? Here's a little tiny girl right there. There's the giant. He's sleeping under the grass, which is just symbolism to show that the Titans became a part of much of our scenery, basically, right? They fell down, they died, they got covered up and stuff, and they became hills and mountains and other things. That's from BFG. He's just reaching in there. See the window? They always have a window like that, because that represents our world. And that represents the Titan hand reaching through the window into the world, which is our world, where the little people live. This is all symbolism of the truth, of reality, the very real reality of what happened. The Titans cutting down the giant trees. A lot of people remember that, right? One of my most popular videos I did was about the book of Enoch. And in the book of Enoch, it describes how God commanded the angels, who were very giant, to labor at the trees, which means they cut them down. Right? Some people were like, well, they had to cut them down to make Noah's Ark or whatever. But whatever the reason, the book of Enoch deliberately says that God's angels cut down the ancient giant trees, or labored at them. Same thing. Dennis L says, JayDreamerZ, Titans died. What happened to the Olympians? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean. What happened to the Olympians? Like the gods? Well, I'll tell you the history. Okay, the Olympians who landed on the mountain, which is Mount Meru. Remember I said the breakdown of Meru? The U means of, basically, or attached to, and Mer means ocean or water, right? So it's the mountain of the ocean, right? Just like in Moana, which is at the North Pole, basically. So yeah, they land there. That's their landing space. That's where they go. That's the center of the world. That's the first mountain they're going to land on, right? And they're here for a while. The gods are here for a while. The Olympians are here for a while. The Anunnaki are here for a while. Whatever godlike, alien-like creatures you would like to name, they're here for a while, typically. And then the ones who, they know about this event because they use it in order to travel. They use it in order to travel from one realm to another realm. So they know all about it. So the next time it opens up, it's just like waiting for your subway, for your train to come. That's all that is. They're waiting for their train to come. They know all about this. So they leave. Most of them. Some of them do decide to stay here. And I don't know if there's, maybe there's some extemporaneous rules involved, when you start mating with humans and locals and stuff like that. I don't know if they're allowed to just go back into space. So maybe they set things up for their family who are half-breeds, and they set things up for them because they have to stay here. So maybe they, carve underground bunkers for their families who are not allowed into space or whatever. Because when you get up there, you have to prove that you're worthy to be up there. Usually some sort of psychic test. Excuse me. Semyaza says, JayDreamerZ, Devil's Cannon. They now say resembles a giant tree. Devil's Cannon. Yes, I think I know what you're talking about. But yes, there were ancient giant trees. Everything grew to be giant-sized. Did that help to answer your question, Dennis? The Titans did die. Most of them. There's probably, there could be one or two left in the world today. If there is, I guarantee you they're hiding out. They've been around for a while. They live a very long time. They don't want to be around humans. Trust me. They know what humans do. Okay, I would hide too if I was a Titan. All right, if I was a Phanazoid, if I was a Titan, and I was by myself, I didn't have all my Titan friends or my Phanazoid friends, then yeah, I'd be hiding like the Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, ogres, trolls, whatever. Yeah, they're probably hiding out. Zeus died. I don't know if Zeus died. I have no idea. What do you think? Let me know. Giant crestline trees that had a rainbow bark on them. North Pole. Hey guys, help me out. Give me a little more context because I'm not following along in the chat. So if you say something, just help me out with a little tiny bit more information, please. That way I can better respond to you. All right, so here's a sort of a scale, right? Right down here at the bottom of the scale, that's a human. That's me right now. Then this would be modern day giants, I suppose, right? Like NBA players or something. Then over here we've got your trolls, your ogres, your family lineage of Og, the augurs, basically. And the orcs, the orc, the org. It's all the same word. And then this is small Titan. This is gigantic Titan. So this is the size that they grow to. And it's not just speculation. If you research the occult history of Adam and Eve in even in the occulted books of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, they all agree the first man and woman were gigantic, titanic. They were titans, basically, right? Semyaza says, North Pole, giant trees, still the smoky gods. Very well could be. I totally agree. I think that there's an opening up there at the North Pole. Could be covered by water. I don't know. But regardless, there is an opening up there. And it goes into the inner earth. And I believe that the conditions inside the earth are a lot different than the conditions on top of the earth. Or on top of the ground or whatever, right? And that inside the earth, a lot of those conditions still exist that promote healthy living and rapid healing and giant growth. So yes, absolutely. I'm with you on that one. I'm not sure what you mean, Mind's Eye, when you say crystalline bark. Oh, you're just talking about the ancient giant trees being more crystalline. Could possibly be. I haven't looked into it a lot. I do know that a lot of them became petrified, right? Don't get me wrong, okay, I was on the ancient giant tree track, still am, but I don't look at every single mesa or butte in the world and say, those are all ancient giant trees. I don't do that. I don't look at all mountains and say, those are all dead titans that became mud fossils. I don't do that. Many of them are. But there's exceptions. There's always exceptions, right? Corey L says, I accidentally watched an episode of Xena Warrior Princess. Wow. Xena Warrior Princess a couple weeks ago, and there were titans in it that were 50 feet tall or 15 meters tall. Wow, that's pretty awesome. You know, I used to watch Xena Warrior Princess. Because it was on right after Hercules. There was like this TV version. Mikhail Oloson donated 100 NOK. Thank you very much. That's very kind. I appreciate it. Thanks for the 100 NOK. Semyaza, I really do appreciate it. I don't know what NOK is, but regardless of the amount, thank you so much. It really adds to my life, and it really makes things easier for me. And it makes it worth spending 12 hours at the computer studying. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, so Semyaza says, JayDreamerZ, like the kid movies Ice Age, they went inside the earth, and it even had light. Yeah, of course, they've got light down there. I absolutely think that they have light down there. The plasma is down there just as much as it is above us. The light that we have right now is because of the plasma that's above us. They have plasma down there as well. I don't know more about like what it looks like down there. You know what I mean? I'm still researching that much of it. Okay. All right. So let's go over some more of these pictures here. These are the Titan pictures. So this is what happens basically. Okay. The Titans are real. Okay. You can really have a Titan. I know I've heard lots of people when I used to talk more about the Titans, people are like, the human body would never be able to withstand that much weight or whatever. Yeah. Maybe not like now, the way it is now, but man, who are we to say that anything is impossible anymore? Right? We just have to figure out the method. That's all. We just say, hey, what's the evidence say? The evidence says that Titans existed. Every culture believes that. Whoever you are out there right now watching, your ancient ancestors going so far back, somebody believed and knew for a fact that Titans walked the earth. Maybe even hung out with them and saw them. Very possibly. The Smurfs are a true story. The Who's, Dr. Seuss's stories, those are all true stories. Every story is a true story. It just falls to us to figure it out. It falls to us to figure out the truth in the story, right? To read between the lines. The best truth is told and spoken and taught in metaphor, in story form. It's the very best way to teach people, right? The people who are not interested will be amused by your story. The people who have open minds and an open eye, they will start to it will hit home. It's going to hit them right here in the Stranger Things shirt. I love it. I love it. I'm so happy. I bought some clothes. All my clothes are like from the Goodwill. They're super old and used and stuff. And I had some extra money, so I went and treated myself and I got some new like shirts and stuff. And they're all very 80s. I'm going to tell you that right now. They're super 80s. Let's see here. All right, so let's check out some more stuff. Does anybody have any questions, by the way? Anything at all about anything Plasma Apocalypse related? We could probably hang out for 15, 20 more minutes maybe. If the more people ask questions or have a comment, if you type in @JayDreamerZ, I'll read your comment or I'll read your question. Oh yeah, Semyaza says you were really Goodwill hunting that day. That's right. So I was at the Goodwill and I took a picture with the Goodwill sign and I said, hey, look, I'm Goodwill hunting. Right? It was super cheesy, but I wanted to do it. All right, so here's a picture. I'm just going to go over some of these pictures, and if nobody has any questions or anything, we'll probably end up wrapping things up pretty soon. Oh, and I did want to share this too. I went out because I've got 3 cavities, right? I mean, I haven't been to the dentist in like 10 years or something, okay? But I have very good oral hygiene, right? But recently, because of things that I was doing, I developed 3 cavities. And they're semi-small right now. And I don't want to go back to the dentist, so I am doing a test right now. I'm going to give myself a month. I went out and I bought coconut oil, a large tub. It's like a big old tub of coconut oil. I'm going to swish it around in my mouth. I'm going to add some baking soda. I'm going to brush my teeth with it. I'm going to be flossing. This is floss. I don't know if you can see it. It's green. It's mint floss. I like it. And it's called oil pulling. The oil pulls out all the crud in there and all the bacteria and bad stuff. And people have reported that actually heals their cavities and they don't have to go to the dentist. So I'll let you guys know in a month where I stand, because I will go back to the dentist, because I don't know how to tell if, what's going on in there. And I'm going to have them look at it and just evaluate. And I'm going to see what they say. And I'm not going to tell them like I went before. You know what I mean? I don't want them to have the prior knowledge that I had 3 cavities. So maybe I'll go in there and I'll be like, yeah, I was praying real hard that that these cavities would go away or whatever. Maybe it'll be a miracle. I don't know. We'll find out. Why don't I go to the VA? I don't like any of that kind of stuff, honestly. That's the short version. I have very good reasons why I don't, but I don't want to go to the VA. But I appreciate the offer. That's a good offer. And had my life been a lot different, I might. Corey L says, yes, keep us updated. Dennis L says, free dental and medical. Yes, I know. I know all about the military stuff. I'm very, very much acquainted with all the military stuff. I do appreciate the reminder, though. Anyhow, this is, they slip stuff like this into the movies, right? This is Dark City over here, I think. And this is Prometheus over here. They put these gigantic, titanic heads. Why? They're paying homage to their ancient ancestors, right? This is their family right here. They're all related. It's just these people grew to be bigger than these people. These are the gods down here. These are the angels or demons, whatever you want to call them. These are those who were born into the new world. Evan Scorpio, you're very kind. Evan Scorpio just donated $10. That's really awesome. It makes me feel good. All this stuff makes me feel good. But let me tell you why donations make me feel good. Because I work so hard. That's why it makes me feel good. And it pays off. And I can take care of my family. And I can buy food. And I can do all this stuff. And it's very nice. It gives me a very warm, fuzzy feeling. So I appreciate it. Thank you, Evan. Yeah, all of this is all plasma apocalypse. This is just the post-apocalypse. That's all that is. The Titans will return one of these days. Okay? Listen. After the plasma apocalypse, you will now live in a fantastic world. It will be a fantastic voyage, if you want to call it that, all right? It'd be more fantastic if you went up into the sky and you were protected and survived, because your mind will be blown. I'm just talking about what's in here. I'm only talking about what is in our world and what happens in our world. Where do you think fantasy comes from? Why don't we have an alternative? We've got fact and we've got fiction. They're two sides to the same coin. There's nothing else out there, really. There's fact and there's fiction. They're both the same because it's the same story. So listen, if you survive past the plasma apocalypse, life is going to change 100%. Remember I said we live in an upside down world? It's going to flip upside down again. And then all of a sudden, to those of you who feel like you live in an upside down world today, if you feel like you live in an upside down world today, then your world will probably be restored, which is why I'm so happy about it. I'm so happy about it. I can't wait. I can't wait for the red sky. I can't wait for the Titans. I can't wait for the elves. I can't wait to have superpowers. I can't wait to live forever. I can't wait to have hundreds and hundreds of years to study all this brand new stuff and to use my knowledge to better the people I care about and my own life and go explore, because there's not going to be any laws, any rules, any regulators, any police, any judges, any cops, any lawyers, any doctors, any of that stuff. We'll truly be free. Oh gosh, and I love it. I think this is from Magic the Gathering. That looks like a Magic card to me. But that's a Titan pretty much. Titans, right? And the Titans, they're always depicted with clubs, because they just grabbed the ancient giant trees and used them as weapons. Because what else are they going to use? You know what I mean? What else are they going to use? They pretty much, this guy, there's obviously he's not wearing clothing. But let me skip that picture. That's a little too grown up, pal. Oh, we're back where we started. No, we're not. Are we? We are. All right. Well, we skipped through all those. Oh, yeah, there's Prometheus. Good old Prometheus who brought the fire of the gods up there down here. It's not regular fire. It's plasma. We already have regular fire here. Lightning does that for us. We don't need Prometheus for that, right? Dennis L says, I was in the short too. I was mad at them too, bro. Gotta get over it. Oh, that might not be short. Hey, you know what? I appreciate it because I'm learning to get over it, honestly. Corey L says, I give myself 1 in 25 chance of surviving. I will work on improving those odds. Listen, guys, as far as surviving goes, don't worry. Please, please, please don't worry. Like, I'm not saying Corey's worrying or anything, but I'm just saying, like, the odds are set in stone. I don't believe in odds anymore. I really don't. Like, what are the odds? Like, how many times have I said, what are the odds? The other day when I was at the sandwich shop and my total was 1027, which is this number I see everywhere, all over the place. As a matter of fact, it's creeping me out to the point where I'm telling Jenny about it. I'm like, Jenny, look. And she's like, oh my God, that's your number. And I'm like, yes, there's something to it. Okay. There's not odds. I don't believe in odds anymore. I don't. This is all a beautiful fractal story. That's a holographic story that's being told, and it all contains the same information. And all this stuff is falling right into your lap because it's clues. Because you want to know the clues. You want to know the answers. It's a riddle, right? But you don't want to be told. You want to figure it out. Isn't that beautiful? You have allowed yourself the freedom and the respect and the love to figure it out for yourself. But you've left yourself all these beautiful, wonderful clues all over the place. They are the breadcrumbs and Easter eggs of life coming right to you from you. I think it's great. Here's a great little photoshopped picture. This is a Titan who's like frozen or become a part of the mountain. All these little tiny people walking. Hey, do you guys remember that? What was that commercial that was done? It was an alcohol commercial. I forgot what kind it was. Some bourbon or something. And they had like a really famous director. It was like a 7-minute long commercial. It wasn't even a commercial. It was a movie, and it wasn't even about alcohol. It was about Titans and the world losing its gravity and the plasma apocalypse and magic and all this stuff. It was great. I forgot what it was though. Some sort of alcohol. Maria, let me read this comment because I relate to it. Maria says, I'm not in a place I want to be at all. I can't wait for a flip in this world, even if I don't survive it. I'm glad I caught this, because Jay always pulls me out of a rut. Hey, man, I feel I get that. And let me tell you something. It's not you that gets down about it. It's this world that wants you to get down about it. This world is clinging on to the energy as strong as it possibly can, stronger than ever, because the energy knows, because everything's sentient, the energy knows that its time's up. It's going away. It's going to get replaced. The male energy, the male-dominated energy is going to get replaced with a female-dominated energy. Before that, it's going to get replaced with neutrality and nothing, right? Or nothingness or emptiness or neutrality, however you want to look at it. I like saying neutrality. I don't really believe in nothingness. Here is an ancient depiction, a carving of gigantic people and little tiny people. That's because that's real. This isn't just story that they decided to take all the time and effort carving into this rock because it symbolized that they were bigger on the inside because they had big hearts and they were good people. No, there's giants walked the world. Look at that. That's a god. That is a Phanazoid, a bipedal Phanazoid from some other place. From space, came down here. They're gigantic because they came from a place that's not pressurized whatsoever. That's how I know that NASA doesn't really go to space. Because if they came back, they'd be big. You know what I mean? Like they'd be big. They're not big. They're the same size. So, and you know, some people would be like, well, maybe they're millimeters more big or whatever. No, I'm sorry. They'd be giants because space makes you big. I don't know. That's where I'm going with that. Oh, I'm back in the chat. Sorry. Let me pull up the little pop-out chat version. I think I'm going to put it over here with the other one. That's better. Dennis L says 1027 or other repetitive numbers is your higher self sending code to activate and wake you up. Man, that was my platoon number in the Marine Corps. I mean, actually, I have my little Marine Corps book. I could show you a picture with me in my inside out sweatshirt, right, with 1027 stamped on it. My little olive green sweatshirt. You had to wear it inside out. You had to wear everything inside out when you first started out as a recruit because it's meant to like embarrass you or something. Anyway, it had 1027 stamped on it, right? So I can look at a picture of me a long time ago, 1027. There was a radio station, 1027. That was my favorite radio station. Like every time I look at the time, I'm surprised it's not 1027 right now. Semyaza says, here in the White Mountains, one mountain was called the Old Man in the Mountain, and it looked like a titan. Probably because it was. A lot of these titans died, and they became petrified, and they became a part of the world. Just like this commercial right here shows, right? This mountain stands up. And the titans they become a part of the landscape. Thailand is full of titanic body parts all over the place. Did you guys see the video I did about when they closed down Maya Bay in Thailand? There, I found boots. Feet, whatever. Like just, you can see it just sitting there on the ocean water, like a big old titan foot. There's a few titans, right? Those are some of my classic videos. I should re-release those. I really like that one that I did. I take a certain amount of pride in those things. I really like breaking them down. I really like that I can look at stuff like Friday the 13th. Jason. Okay, so check this out. Speaking of Friday the 13th, I'm planning on going to this little retreat thing. It's like 25 or $50 a person or something, and it's in Arizona. And it's basically a campground, and they have a person there who is acting the role of Jason Voorhees, and you have to survive. And to survive, you have to figure out all these little puzzles in order to like escape the cabin. It's like an escape room mixed with like a haunted house, basically. But Jason is out there somewhere. He's trying to get all the counselors. And my brother and I are huge horror movie fans. He is absolutely the biggest Jason Voorhees Friday the 13th fan. I've always liked Freddy Krueger. You know what I mean? Either way, they're both very much related. When I take my brother out there, hopefully I can get a little trip out there. I can't wait to talk to him about the very real existence of Jason Voorhees and what he represents, and Freddy Krueger and what he represents. I hope he's watching right now, Adam. I hope you're watching right now, bro. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna have an awesome conversation with him about. It's exciting to me. Wouldn't it be exciting to you if all of a sudden all your favorite shows, all your favorite movies that you thought weren't real, if you figured out that they were? I don't know. Some people might not like that because some people are comfy the way that the status quo, the way the world is today. I'm not. That's why I read books, because I escape to those places. I don't like this place, okay? I'm not a fan of it, okay? I'm ready for the next place. Let's do it. Mother Dragon says, JayDreamerZ, the repetitive numbers are happening to me now as well. 10, 13, and 19 are the two main ones for me. 13 is the prominent one right now. I've been seeing 19 a lot. For me, I'll just tell you, what I can tell you the number 19 represents is the 19 fallen angels in the book of Enoch. There are these original 19 leaders of all of the fallen angels. They're actually named. And if you look at the Colorado State Seal, it's got 19 in it. There's always this 19. 19 represents the original leaders of the fallen angels, or the Nephilim, or the Anunnaki, or whatever it is. So maybe that's telling you something. And 13 is the original bloodline, as they say. So maybe those numbers, I'm just shooting in the dark, but maybe those numbers are telling you like, hey, you're good. You're going to make it. You're going to establish the next bloodline of the world. You're going to be there. You know what I mean? That's what I'm getting from that. I could be off, but I'm not sure. I feel like that's good. Let's see, who else? Dennis L says mine was 1042. Okay. Sean Wheeler says Prince of Darkness. Hey, Sean, I am going to put your whole name into the credits like you asked me to, by the way, just so you know, right? I'm trying to, I can be so forgetful, but out of respect for like all the people that have joined as members and everyone who's been supporting me and stuff, I feel like, bro, you got to step it up a little bit, okay? You can't afford to be that forgetful anymore. So definitely going to put your name in there, and I'm going to be updating the credits in about a week. So if you're in the gifted tier of membership, then just drop your drop what GIF you would like. And if you don't, I'll just pick one out for you. And put that into the community section, by the way. Please. Oh, Mother Dragon says 10/19 is my birthday. So that is obvious. And 13 or 31 inverted. Ooh, wow. Your birthday is really close to Ginny's birthday, too. Dennis L says 2022. Okay. William Marquez says, JayDreamerZ, I would love to see another live stream with you and your brother. I'll make that happen. I want my brother to get on here so that he can share some of his knowledge as well. Because we come from two different angles and we have two different perspectives on things, but we meet in the middle. We're very open-minded together and we can talk non-stop until I can't even talk anymore. Which reminds me, I should probably wrap things up here in just a bit. Let's see here. Maria Becco says, a real-life horror movie? I'd be scared out of my mind running around for my life screaming. I'm traumatized easily. I love it. I love it. And guess what? I'm sorry to tell you, but it's really going to happen. Okay? So it's really going to happen. But see, here's the good news. Not only are there going to be zombies that rise up from the ground, not only will there be the plasma possessed, not only will there be some Phanazoids that are predator types and out to get people or whatever, not only will plasma come down, there's a lot of scary bad stuff, stuff that's not preferable, but it's balanced. Nature always balances this stuff out. That's why you are going to be imbued with superpowers and lots of other stuff. They're going to be good Phantazoids, right? Benevolent Phantazoids. Everything that is coming, don't be afraid. I'm telling you right now, everything has a balance. Everything has a counter to it. So, any scary stuff about the plasma apocalypse or the cyclical end of the world, think to yourself that the remedy to that, the counter to that fear, is the knowledge that those things will always be balanced out. Nature will balance it out, I promise you. Semyaza says, your desire to inspire is amazing. Thanks, man. Corey L says, JayDreamerZ, for 2 to 3 years now, I see 9/11 way too many times. Right? Well, 9, spiral. 11 is elven. It's always elven. It's the those of the elves, right? Usually on clocks, gotcha. JayDreamerZ brothers together again. That's right. Well, I just talked to my brother earlier today. I was telling him about this Friday the 13th camp thing, which I can't wait. I'm going to go. I'm so excited about it. I'm probably going to go play my Friday the 13th. Hey, does anybody have that game? Do you guys have the Nintendo Switch? Is anyone on my friends list there? Because I don't know if you have different names or whatever on the Nintendo Switch. But let me know if you actually play so I can look out for you. Because I don't know who I'm playing with half the time. Let's see. Let's wrap things up. Dennis says, what's the time now? Time now, local time, 9:28 p.m. Mountain Time. Okay, I'm going to wrap things up. I've talked for long enough. I still got to roll the credits and show some stuff about what it means to be a member. And I got a little fancy outro to play for you guys. Let's jam out to some good vibes with the credits. Thank you all for watching. If you're a member, let me know if there was anything I missed or anything that you had questions of. Maybe you couldn't think of a question right now, but you did later on. I'll try to cover it in the future. We're going to do some more questions and responses as well. And thanks for spending some time with me. You guys made me feel really good today. It was nice being in your presence. I don't know what it is. You guys have great energy today. It's somewhere, maybe it's inside me too. So I hope if your energy was off, I helped you out. And let's see, today's Thursday, so I'm going to spend the weekend with my family, and I'll see you guys all on Truth in Movie Monday. And I'm excited to see what movies you guys picked. All right, I'm JayDreamerZ saying good vibes and goodbye.
It'd be easier for me if I turn
Hey, Sean, are you still there? See if you can leave a link. On that note, anybody that has a tree or more, I just wanted to pop in at the end, right? You know why I like to do this? Because of Ferris Bueller. I'm sorry. That's why I like to do this. Try leaving a link now. You have to have a moderator status to leave a link, I believe. So give it a shot. And use the cool picture of a link. No, I'm just kidding. You don't have to. Did my link work? Yeah, my link worked. Mother Dragon left a link earlier. I think if you're moderator, you can leave a link. There you go. Nice. Does anybody not have moderator status who has been a member for at least 2 months? Because I have not been on top of that. I'm just going to be honest. If you get the full tree and you don't have moderator wrench, just remind me. I'll be more than happy because it's super easy during a live stream. All I have to do is just click on your name. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, there we go. Or the leaf. I think you just have to have the leaf. Whatever it is, a couple months. All right. Oh, I think we're good. I think we're good. All right. I'm not hanging out too long. I'm going to go. Hey, I love you guys. I'll see you guys soon. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.